Yes, I didn't say. What are you looking so sad about, Jam?
Man, I'm surprised at you. I mean, I'm really insulted. I mean, that's not right what you just said.
What do you mean, what I just said?
I mean, I'm getting a drink of water. I'm late getting home, but you talk. I said something about the greatest heavyweight champ, man. I'm a hometown man, and you talk about Joe Louis, man. Joe Louis wouldn't be nothing for me. Joe, I tell you, Joe, do you think you would have stood a chance with me?
Well, Clay, one time during my career, I went on a Formula One tour.
I would have been a bum compared to you.
Where you go?
What's happening, everybody? Cast Sports again. Back for another afternoon with the family. You know what time it is. If it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 p.m., it's the Boxtorian, bringing you all of that boxing history. Salute to Miss Cass. She's the wind beneath these sails. Salute to everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cast Sports, the Boxtorian. Today, Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year. The Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year award has the family today. It's Monday, back at the beginning of another big week of boxing history. Yeah, today we're going to look at every Ring Magazine of the Year award that was presented when it started in 1928 to the current reigning winner in 2025 and everyone in between. Last weekend, Keyshawn got it done. It was just too much for Wu. That was a perfect classic example of there's levels to this. Keyshawn was just on a different level from Wu, and what happened. But how's everybody this Monday afternoon? We're back. Took a vacation last week, and now we got a different format. We're just going to be 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. Have a day or two between to better prepare and make the show better for everybody. So that's from now on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 p.m. Bringing you all that boxing history. Cash Sports, the Boxtorian. Okay, we're going to start out today, as we always do, with the fight of the day. Got a lot to get to, so let's get to it. So now, without further ado, today's fight of the day. Salute, Mike Masick. How are you today? Let's get started with today's the fight of the day. But we're back, Mike. Back and better. All right. Today's fight of the day is Muhammad Ali versus Jerry Corey 1. Ali is back in the game. Ali is back in the game. Appreciate you, Mike. It was a nice break. Time to get back to work. 100% Mike Masick. Appreciate you. Okay. And so the fight of the day again. Muhammad Ali versus Jerry Corey. October 26, 1970. Ali is back in the game. Let's take a look. Excuse me. Let's take a look at it. Okay, here we go. Ali is back in the game. This was Ali's first fight back after his 3-year exile from the sport. You know, when he refused to be drafted and all that. Let's talk about it. Now, following his successful defense of the World Heavyweight Championship against Zora Folley in March of 1967, Muhammad Ali's boxing career came to a sudden, though not an unexpected, halt. The following month, the man who had loudly proclaimed that he had no quarrel with them Viet Cong refused to be drafted into the United States Army and the war in Vietnam. He was immediately arrested. The New York State Athletic Commission then suspended his license and stripped him of his title, and all other state athletic commissions quickly fell in line. It would be 3.5 years before Muhammad Ali could compete in a boxing ring again. But by 1970, the social and cultural dynamic in America had changed dramatically. The Vietnam War was now deeply unpopular, and Ali, instead of being viewed as a loudmouth draft dodger and a traitor, had become an important figure in both the anti-war movement and the ongoing civil rights struggle. Having spent much time during his forced exile speaking at college campuses and anti-racism rallies, while during the same period, Martin Luther King, Robert Kennedy, Fred Hampton, and others were murdered in the struggle for social justice in America, Muhammad Ali was now much more than a black boxer who happened to be vocal about his political opinions. He had become a living, breathing rebuke to the political establishment, a symbol of racial division, and a global celebrity, all rolled into one. And so Ali's comeback fight in 1970 was about much more than sports, was much more than just another professional prize fight. It was bigger than boxing. It was about justice and vindication and human rights, and perhaps more than anything else, Black pride. Looking back, Two intriguing aspects of this fight remain: the location and the choice of opponent. During Ali's forced exile, and as his various legal appeals slowly meandered through the courts, numerous attempts had been made to secure him a return to the ring. Promoter and press agent Harold Conrad doggedly knocked on doors in 22 states in this effort to obtain a boxing license for Ali. He came very close in California before then Governor Ronald Reagan declared that no draft dodger would compete in his state, and approval was promptly denied. But in Georgia, of all places, the situation was different because no state athletic commission existed. If the mayor of Atlanta approved it, a fight could be staged in the city, and the governor was powerless to stop it. A black state senator named Leroy Johnson put some heat on Atlanta Mayor Sam Marcel, and at long last, Ali was back. Much to the consternation of Georgia governor and segregationist Lester Maddox. In the words of activist Julian Bond, the event established Atlanta as the black political capital of America, even as the governor Maddox called for a boycott and proclaimed a day of mourning on the eve of the fight. And so, Ali was back. Al Booger in the building. What's up, Al Booger? Salute. We're working our way through the fight of the day, which is Muhammad Ali's first fight back after his suspension and stripping of his titles against Irish Jury Query. Salute, Al Booger. Appreciate you. So Ali was back. Now, as for the choice of opponent, Ali did not take a tune-up. Irish Jury Query was considered one of the very best heavyweights in the world at the time, with only the actual heavyweight champion, Joe Frazier, and the number one contender, Jimmy Ellis, ranked above him. It is testament to Ali's stature that a fight against a lesser or unranked opponent was not even considered. What boxer today would even contemplate taking on one of the 2 or 3 best fighters in their division after a 43-month layoff? Having never lost, Ali remained. Despite the widespread recognition of Frazier as the new king of the big men, Ali remained the undefeated heavyweight champion. But that claim would have suffered had he faced anything other than a legit top contender. Would have suffered. And the fact Corey happened to be white only added to the potent mix of symbolism and politics on display. Okay? And what a display it was. Ali vs. Corey was less an athletic contest than a historic event. The triumphant return of the exiled king. The elite of Black America descended upon Atlanta that night. Boxing historian Bert Sugar later called it the greatest collection of Black power and Black money ever assembled. Among the celebrities present were Diana Ross, Jesse Jackson, Sidney Poitier, Curtis Mayfield, Murray Wilson, Arthur Ashe, Julian Bond, Whitney Young, plus a host of flamboyant hustlers and high rollers from the fast lane. Artist George Plimpton recalled the men in ankle-length fur coats or with felt headbands and feathered capes, stilted shoes, the heels like polished ebony, many smoking stuff in odd meerschaum pipes. It was a kind of crowd and scene never witnessed before at a major sporting event, not even Super Bowls. Well, 1970, we had only had 3 Super Bowls at that point, but Ali Corey was a major event. And beyond this being Ali's first ring appearance since 1967, not to mention a contest for the lineal heavyweight championship of the world. There was good reason for all of this anticipation and electricity. The simple fact was that everything was on the line for Ali. If he lost, his standing both as a champion and an influential public figure would be vastly diminished. And the truth was, no one knew what to expect. After such a long hiatus from action, would Ali still have the skills and the speed to compete at the highest level? Yeah, no one knew exactly what to expect. You know, Ali had been gone for 3 years. To the relief of his assembled adulators, the opening round saw Ali gliding about the ring with swift grace, even as he started aggressively, catching Curry again and again with a sharp left jab and shooting in the right hand behind it. But in a second, and as Curry picked up the pace, Ali's timing proved rusty. He blocked Curry's hook effectively, but failed to counter, and already his legs seemed to be slowing. Still, his advantages in height and reach, if nothing else, allowed him to outbox the Bellflower Bomber. In the third round, Ali continued to move and jab, while his opponent sank a few good shots to the midsection before Curry attempted to bull rush the former champion into the ropes. The moment he did, Ali struck with a snapping right that opened a deep gash above Curry's left eye. The blood poured down the side of the jury's face, and the crowd wailed as Ali became the aggressor, honing in with his jab and forcing Curry to give ground. A series of hard rights had everyone on their feet as Ali tried to end matters as quickly as possible. But the challenger weathered the storm. Curry weathered the storm. At the bell, a bleeding and discouraged looking Curry trudged back to his corner. As soon as his cornermen saw the severity of the cut, they called for the ring doctor. Seconds later, after consulting with the doctor, the referee signaled that the fight was over. Not the most satisfying of endings, but for Muhammad Ali's nervous fans, a win was a win. Both his undefeated record and his claim to being the rightful heavyweight champion of the world remained intact. And now, the drums began to beat in earnest for a monumental showdown with that other undefeated champion, Smoking Joe Frazier. And there you have it, the fight of the day. Ali is back in the game. All right. Okay, let's get to the show now. BVO Sports TV in the building. What's up, BVO? How are you today? Yeah, we're going to look at, that was Ali's first fight back after his suspension. And he didn't take a tune-up. He took Jerry Curry. Only one above Curry was the champion Joe Frazier and the number one contender Jimmy Ellis. And Curry was the next best thing in the world after them two. And that's who Ali came back against after 3 years out of the sport. Who does that? Okay, but today it's going to be the Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year Award. We're going to look at every ever Fighter of the Year Award that was awarded from 1928 to 2000 to the current reigning Fighter of the Year in 2025. Now, the Ring Fighter of the Year Award, Ring Magazine came into existence in 1922, and they immediately started awarding a Fight of the Year, which we looked at last week. But they waited 6 years to start the Fighter of the Year award in 1928. We're going to start there. And what we're going to do, we're going to list every year, every Fighter of the Year, and we're going to look at a brief summary of what the fighter did in that year to earn the award. Okay, so let's get started. First, we're going to look at, everything was cool, BVO. Appreciate you. Okay, so we're going to start at 1928, but first we're going to look at a summary of the Fighter of the Year award, exactly what it is and who awards it, all that kind of stuff. So let's go. Got a lot to get to, so let's get to it. Now, the Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year is one of the most prestigious annual awards in boxing, recognizing the best boxer in the sport based on in-ring performance, quality of competition, and popularity during the calendar year. Established in 1928, it is awarded by the editors of the ring to the fighters who dominate their divisions, often recognizing champions with high activity and high-profile victories. The first award was given to Gene Tunney in 1928. Muhammad Ali holds the record with 6 wins. Recently, Terence Crawford was named the 2025 winner after becoming an undisputed champion at 168 pounds, while Naoya Inoue won in 2023 for its double undisputed achievement. The ring generally prefers fighters who fight frequently against the best possible competition and act as good sportsmen in and out of the ring throughout the year. Okay, so let's get started. 1928 was the first year they gave the award. 1928 was the Fighting Marine, Gene Tunney. One of BBO's favorites right there, the Fighting Marine, inaugural winner of the Fighter of the Year award. In 1928, Tunney solidified his legacy by successfully defending his World Heavyweight Championship against Tom Heaney on July 26th with an 11th round technical knockout at Yankee Stadium. Following this victory, he announced his retirement from boxing without a loss in the division. And Tunney was the inaugural Fighter of the Year, the Fighting Marine, Gene Tunney. Okay. 1929 winner was Tommy Loughran. Loughran displayed his technical skill and success against top-tier opponents during the year, including successful title defenses against then middleweight champion, the Toy Bulldog, Mickey Walker in May, and future heavyweight champion, James J. Braddock in July. He competed in 6 fights for the year, winning 5, losing 1. Tommy Loughran. Okay, then we go to the 1930s. We're listing every Fighter of the Year ever. We go to the 1930s. Max Melling. In 1930, Melling became World Heavyweight Champion, defeating Jack Sharkey on June 12th. By winning the vacant title, he became the first German and one of the first Europeans to hold a World Heavyweight Championship. His victory also established him as the premier heavyweight. 1931 was Tommy Loughran again. He wins the award for the second time in 3 years. Tommy Loughran. Loughran won the award in 1931 primarily for his successful transition to the heavyweight division, where he defeated several top-ranked opponents, including Max Baer, Ernie Schaff, Paulino Oscar Dunn, and Jack Gross. The former light heavyweight champion utilized his superior boxing skills, speed, and technical prowess to defeat much larger opponents. In 10 fights during the year, he had 8 wins and 2 losses. Okay, 1932, Jack Sharkey won the award. Jack Sharkey. Okay, there's Chris Gallardo. Appreciate you. Oh man. Has anybody seen a boxer let a back elbow on another boxer other than Benavidez? He says, I've been watching since the 80s, and I never have. Me neither. I got to be honest. I haven't seen one like that neither. I've been watching since the 70s. Chris Gallardo. I appreciate you, though. But to answer your question, I haven't seen another one do it either. I don't know if it was, he said it was unintentional, but unintentionally or intentionally, I've never seen another one do it. But appreciate you, Chris Gallardo. We're looking at the Ring Magazine Fighters of the Year today. Jack Sharkey, 1932. I appreciate you stopping by, Chris Gallardo. Okay, 1932, Jack Sharkey. What did he do that year? Now, the major feat, Sharkey accomplished the major feat of defeating Max Schmeling in June 1932 to win the World Heavyweight Championship. This victory brought the World Heavyweight title back to the United States and solidified Sharkey's place at the top of boxing. Now, 1933, the Ring Magazine did not award a fight. That's Primo Carnero. The Ring Magazine did not award a Fighter of the Year for 1933, primarily because the top candidate, heavyweight champion Primo Carnero, was deemed unsuitable due to his alleged ties to organized crime and widespread suspicion regarding the legitimacy of his fights. So yeah, they selected Primo, but they was like, he had suspected ties to organized crime, and they don't even know how many of his fights was even fixed. So they didn't name one. I don't know why they just didn't give it to somebody else. But we had no Fighter of the Year in 1933. But that was the man who got the most votes and everything, Primo Carnero. But they didn't deem him suitable because of his suspected mob ties. And they didn't even know how many of his fights were fixed. So 1934, we had co-fighters of the year, Tony Canzoneri and Barney Ross. First, Tony Canzoneri. Okay. In 1934, Canzoneri reestablished himself as a dominant elite level force with key victories over Baby Arismendi, Frankie Click, and Harry Dublisky. 1934 was a crucial comeback year for Canzoneri, where he demonstrated his resilience, winning 5 of 6 fights during the year. As in the co-fighter of the year for 1934 was Barney Ross, and 2 of them that year. Barney Ross. There's Barney. In 1934, Ross became the first lightweight champion to win the World Welterweight Championship by defeating Jimmy McLaurin. That fight was also Ring's Fight of the Year. Ross added wins over contenders Frankie Click and Bobby Pacho during the year, and his immense popularity solidified his status as a premier boxer. He had 9 fights on the year, 8-1 record. And then, 1935, Barney Ross repeated. Barney Ross again. In 1935, Ross regained the World Welterweight Championship by defeating Jimmy McLaurin in their rubber match, despite suffering a broken thumb during the 6th round. Besides McLaurin, Ross faced 4 other top contenders in 1935, including Hall of Famer Seferino Garcia twice, and finished the year 6 wins, no losses. Barney Ross. And then 1936, the Brown Bomber wins his first of many Fighter of the Year awards. In late 30s, early 40s, the Brown Bomber dominated boxing. Joe Louis. Despite suffering his first professional loss in 1936, Louis was selected Fighter of the Year due to his active fighting schedule and continued dominance in the ring following his defeat, winning 4 straight to finish the year to remain the top contender for the World Heavyweight title. Now, 1937, this is one of the best years in boxing history right here. Listen to this. Homicide Hank Henry Armstrong. This is one of the absolute best years ever in boxing history. Listen to this. In 1937, Henry Armstrong compiled an amazing 27-0 record with 26 knockouts, largely against top-tier competition. His crowning achievement of the year was winning his first world title, the Featherweight Championship, by knocking out Peter Cerrone. Besides Cerrone, he also knocked out former champions Benny Bass and Frankie Click. Homicide Hank, 27-0 on the year with 26 knockouts, largely against top-tier competition. Then I told you Joe Louis dominated the late 30s, early 40s. 1938, Joe Louis wins the award for the second time. Okay, second in 3 years for Joe Louis. In 1938, Louis achieved legendary status by knocking out German boxer Max Schmeling in their rematch to retain the World Heavyweight title. This victory, which lasted only 2 minutes and 4 seconds of the first round, avenged his 1936 loss to Schmeling and saw Louis transcend boxing to become a national hero and symbol of American anti-Nazi sentiment. Okay, 1939, Joe Louis, third Fighter of the Year award in 4 years. Okay, told you Joe dominated the late 30s, early 40s. This is his third time in 4 years in 1939. Louis had an incredibly dominant year in 1939, defending his World Heavyweight Championship 4 times and knocking out every opponent he faced. Following his historic 1938 victory over Schmeling, his 1939 performance further solidified his status as a national hero and symbol of American pride during a time of intense racial inequality and international tension. So then we go to the 1940s. 1940, the Pittsburgh Kid, Billy Conn, Fighter of the Year. Conn had a stellar campaign in 1940, in which he successfully defended his World Light Heavyweight Championship and made a massive leap in weight class to secure highly publicized victories against top-ranked heavyweights. Conn successfully defended his light heavyweight crown against top contender and future world champion Gus Lesnovich. The Pittsburgh Kid proved he could fight with the bigger men by defeating heavyweight contenders Bob Pastor and Lisa Vogt. 5 fights on the year, Conn posted a 5-0 record for the year. In 1941, guess who? The Brown Bomber again. 4th Fighter of the Year title in 6 years. Told you he dominated the late 30s, early 40s. 4th Fighter of the Year title in 6 years for the Brown Bomber. In 1941, Louis added to his legendary status by defending his World Heavyweight Championship, a record-setting 7 times in a single calendar year. During this dominant run, he notably knocked out contender Billy Conn in a thrilling comeback. Other contenders Louis defeated during the year included Buddy Bayer, Clarence Berman, Gus DeRazio, Abe Simon, and Tony Musto. Again, Louis competed in 7 fights in 1941, winning all of them. And then, in 1942, Sugar Ray Robinson wins the award for the first time. Sugar Ray Robinson gets his first Fighter of the Year award. 1942, first of a couple. In 1942, Sugar Ray compiled a perfect 14-0 record. During this stellar calendar year, he notably defeated formidable contenders and future Hall of Famers, including Sammy Angat, Fritzy Zivic, and Jake LaMotta in the first fight of their historic 6-fight series. Now, 1943, as we got into the middle 40s, there wasn't a lot of boxing going on because World War II had kicked off. So 1943 was Fred Epistolli That's him in the black trunks. Now, Apostoli did not accomplish his honors in the ring during 1943. Rather, he was named Fighter of the Year by the ring for his voluntary service and athletic exhibitions while on active duty in the U.S. Navy during World War II. Apostoli served as a gunnery chief specialist and gunner aboard the light cruiser USS Columbia in the Pacific. Recognizing his contributions off the battlefield, the ring specifically gave him the award for boosting troop morale by organizing fights and participating in athletic exhibitions for the deployed troops. Fred Apostoli got it for his work outside the ring during World War II. 1944 was Bojack. Not Bo Mac, Bojack. Mike Grimm. What's up, Mike Grimm? Salute. We're looking at every Ring Magazine Fight of the Year today, Mike. We're up to 1944. Bojack. Again, not Bo Mac, Bojack. Okay, 1944. Bojack's incredible dedication, both inside and outside the ring, was what led to his Fighter of the Year award. Jack headlined the historic War Bonds fight card at Madison Square Garden. As a U.S. Army private, he and his opponent, Bob Montgomery, donated their purses, helping to raise a staggering $36 million for the World War II effort. Jack also had 7 fights total during the year, with 6 wins against just 1 loss. 1945 winner was the Will o' the Wisp, Willie Pep. Willie Pep, my number 3 fighter of all time. Right behind Sugar Ray Robinson and Muhammad Ali, I got Willie Pep, the man right there, the Will o' the Wisp. Despite his military service duties, Pep fought 8 times in 1945, finishing the year with 7 wins and 1 fight in a draw. His fights included a win over former world champion Phil Taranaba, and the draw was against Jimmy McAllister. 1946 was the Man of Steel, Tony Zale. Fighter of the Year for 1946, the Man of Steel, Tony Zale. Zale began his legendary trilogy against Rising Star, Rocky Graziano in 1946. The fight was a dramatic, come-from-behind 6th-round knockout for Zale. He fought 7 times during the year, winning all 7. Okay, 1947, Gus Lesnovich. That's Gus in the white trunks. Azim Shabazz. Salute, Azim. How are you today? Looking at every Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year, Azim. We're up to 1947. 1947. Gus Lesnovich. Salute, Azim. We got all of them from 1928 all the way up to the current winner in 2025, the reigning Fighter of the Year, Bud Crawford. But now, 1947, Gus Lesnovich. That's Gus in the white trunks. The Lesnovich won all 4 of his fights in 1947. His defining achievement that year featured 3 successful world light heavyweight title defenses against top contenders Billy Fox, Melio Bettina, and Tammy Moriello. 1948, the great Ike Williams won the award. That's a drawing by the great sports artist Damon Runyon there. Ike Williams. Williams earned the Ring Fighter of the Year award in 1948 by dominating the lightweight division and successfully defending his World Lightweight Championship 3 times against top contenders Enrique Bolanos, Bojack, and Jesse Flores. In addition to his title defenses, Williams took on and defeated other top fighters and future world champions, including Kid Gavilan. Williams had 10 fights in 1948, compiling a record of 10 wins and no losses. Okay, 1949, we had the Cincinnati Cobra wins his first Fighter of the Year award. The Cincinnati Cobra, Ezzard Charles. In 1949, Charles captured the World Heavyweight Championship by defeating Jersey Joe Walcott. Later in the year, he solidified his status as one of boxing's all-time greats with spectacular title defenses against Gus Lesnovich and Pat Valentino. The Cincinnati Cobra competed 5 times during the year, going undefeated. Okay? And then, in 1950, the Cobra repeated. Cincinnati Cobra had a repeat. Ezzard Charles wins the award for the second time in 1950. Charles solidified his status as the undisputed World Heavyweight Champion in 1950 by convincingly outpointing the legendary Joe Louis, a massive victory that earned him universally recognized status as champion. He never went over Freddie. And then in 1951, Sugar Ray Robinson wins it for the second time. Sugar Ray Robinson, Fighter of the Year in 1951. In 1951, Sugar Ray became a 2-division world champion by winning the title. He continued his historic loss, and subsequently gained his world title in epic battles with Randolph Turpin, and went on an unprecedented international tour. Sugar Ray's action-packed, relentless campaign throughout the year cemented his status as the premier boxer globally, with 11 total fights, winning 9 with 1 loss and 1 no contest. And then, in 1952, The Rock wins the award for the first time. Rocky Marciano wins his first Fighter of the Year award. First of a couple. In 1952, Marciano won the World Heavyweight Championship by knocking out Jersey Joe Walcott in a dramatic come-from-behind victory. The one-punch knockout is widely considered one of the most iconic punches in history. The triumph launched his legendary heavyweight championship reign. He went 5-0 in 1952. 5 fights, no losses for The Rock in 1952. 1953, Carl Bobo Olsen. That's Bobo on the right. Fighter of the Year. Carl Bobo Olsen accomplished his career-defining victory in 1953 by defeating Randolph Turpin to win the World Middleweight Championship. Olsen had 4 wins and no losses in 1953, including 3 key victories that led to his title opportunity. And then in 1954, Rocky Marciano wins the award again for the second time. Rocky Marciano. In 1954, Rocky successfully defended his world title twice against Ezzard Charles. His unmatched power and legendary endurance during these title fights were major factors in him being named Fighter of the Year. And then, 1955, Rocky repeat. He was kind of dominant, early 50s. 3 of the past 4 years. 3 of the first 5 years of the decade, he was Fighter of the Year. 1955, he repeated. In 1955, so I don't know how all these people saying he was overrated fighting older men, but he was Fighter of the Year 3 out of 5 years. So, I mean, that kind of like shoots that out the water. Where was the other? Why wasn't somebody else winning it if he was so overrated, right? In 1955, Marciano again successfully defended his World Heavyweight Championship twice, culminating in the final fight of his career before retiring as the only undefeated heavyweight champion in boxing history with a perfect record, 49-0. The defenses that year came against Don Cockell and Hall of Famer Archie Moore. Why wasn't some of these other fighters winning Fighter of the Year those years? Because Rocky was the best fighter those years. Far from overrated. In 1956, Floyd Patterson wins first of a few Fighter of the Year awards. The Gentleman of Boxing. That's what they called Floyd, the Gentleman of Boxing. Patterson accomplished 2 historic milestones in 1956. He knocked out Archie Moore to become the youngest world heavyweight champion in boxing history at age 21, and also became the first Olympic gold medalist to win a professional heavyweight title. Patterson competed in 4 fights during the year and went undefeated, won all 4. And then in 1957, Carmen Basilio, one of those great 1950 middleweights. Carmen Basilio, Fighter of the Year, 1957. Okay. Basilio went 3-0 in 1957, including an upset of the legendary Sugar Ray Robinson to capture the World Middleweight Championship. His tough, action-packed pressure fighting style led to his other 2 victories of the year against contenders Johnny Saxton and Harold Jones. In 1958, the great Swedish fighter Ingemar Johansson. It's Ingemar on the right, fighting Floyd Patterson. Ingemar Johansson, 1958. In 1958, Johansson knocked out undefeated top-ranked heavyweight contender Eddie Macon in the first round of the elimination fight, earning the mandatory right to challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship. This spectacular victory set the stage for its subsequent world title win and established him as a dominant force in heavyweight boxing. In 1959, Ingemar repeated and won the award for the second time. In 1959, Johansson shocked the boxing world by knocking out Floyd Patterson to win the World Heavyweight Championship. He became the first non-American heavyweight champion in 25 years. He entered the fight as a massive underdog, but Floyd Patterson an incredible 7 times on the way to the 3rd round knockout, 7 times in 3 rounds. It was Johansson's only fight during the year, but it was a monumental victory. That was 1959. Okay. Yeah, I was born. Okay, so then we go to the 1960s. Now, Muhammad Ali has been named Fighter of the Year 6 times, more than any other boxer in history. He was actually disqualified for winning the honor from 1964 to 1966 due to controversy over his religious and political beliefs, but it was retroactively awarded to him for 1966 in December 2016. And we'll talk about that some more when we get to 1966. But 1960 was Floyd Patterson. Floyd Patterson won the award for the second time in 1966. The Gentleman of Boxing again. Okay. Now, Patterson made history again in 1966. With his win over Ingemar Johansson, he became the first man in the history of the sport to regain the undisputed World Heavyweight Championship. 8 previous heavyweight champions had all failed in their attempts to regain the title before Patterson successfully accomplished the feat. Floyd. And then in 1961, it was Old Bones, Joe Brown. That's Old Bones on the left. Joe Old Bones Brown successfully defended his title multiple times in 1961 against top contenders. His technical boxing skills, defensive prowess, and consistent ability to defeat top-tier contenders led to an undefeated record during the year, and his thrilling defense of his lightweight title against Dave Charlie was awarded Fight of the Year. And in 1962 was the Great Dick Tiger from South Africa, fighter there, Dick Tiger. The Great Dick Tiger, 1962, won his first of several Fighter of the Year awards. In 1962, Tiger accomplished a major milestone by defeating Gene Fullmer to capture the WBA World Middleweight Championship. This monumental victory established him as a global boxing star. Tiger went 3-0 in 1962, with his other two wins coming against middleweight contenders, Florentino Fernandez and Henry Hank. And then in 1963, Cassius Clay / Muhammad Ali wins his first award of a record-setting 6. This was his first one. He was Cassius Clay's in. Clay compiled an undefeated 3-0 pro record in 1963, maintained his rise to the top of the heavyweight division, and was in the Fight of the Year against Doug Jones. He also defeated reigning British champion Herbie Cooper and also Charlie Powell in 1963. 1964 was the great Emil Griffith. There's Emil Griffith. 1964. Griffith stepped into the ring 6 times across 2 different weight classes in 1964. Most notably, he regained the World Welterweight Championship in a brutal and decisive third fight against his legendary rival, Luis Rodriguez. Griffith also competed in the middleweight division during the year, cementing his status as one of the busiest and most versatile champions in boxing at the time, and again posted a 6-0 record during the year. In 65, Dick Tiger wins the award for the second time. The Great Dick Tiger, there he is, great fighter from Africa. I think he was the second fighter from Africa to win the title, World Championship. The other one was way back there. Now, Tiger accomplished a flawless 3-0 record in 1965. His award-winning performance during the year started with a knockout of Juan Carlos Rivera in March. Next, in May, Tiger dropped Ruben Hurricane Carter to the canvas 3 times en route to a decision win. In October, he fought Joey Giardello for the world middleweight title. Tiger avenged his 1963 loss to Giardello by 15-round unanimous decision. This undefeated campaign saw Tiger log 35 rounds of championship boxing throughout the year. In 1966, Muhammad Ali wins it for the second time. Now, he was voted for the award in 66, but they didn't give it to him due to his political and religious beliefs. But they gave it to him retroactively 50 years later in 2016. Okay, but what did he do in 1966? In 1966, Ali defended his World Heavyweight Championship 5 times and compiled an unblemished 5-0 record with 4 knockouts. He defeated Cleveland Williams in November, and many boxing experts, including Ali himself, considered his dazzling performance against Williams to be the best of his entire career. And Ali made successful defenses internationally against Harry Cooper in London, Karl Mildenberger in Frankfurt, Germany, and Brian London in London. And Ali also fought George Chuvalo in Canada in 1966. And Ali Chuvalo's fight is significant because that was the first fight ever promoted by Bob, the Bob Father era, before Top Rank. At that, when the Bob Father promoted Ali and Chuvalo, he was with a company called Main Belt, the precursor to Top Rank, which was a joint venture between the Bob Father and some members of the Nation of Islam. So Ali Chuvalo's 1966 first fight ever promoted by the Bob Father, like 7 years before Top Rank. Historic. Okay, we get another first fighter to win it in 1967. Smoking Joe gets on the board with his first of a couple, 2 or 3 Fighter of the Year awards. Smoking Joe Frazier. In 1967, Frazier went undefeated in 5 professional fights. His wins included handing Iron Chin George Chuvalo his first stoppage loss. Ali couldn't even do that. And wins over George Johnson, Jefferson Davis, Tony Doyle, and Marion Connor. Frazier's dominant run in 1967 positioned him as the most dangerous and avoided fighter in the division at the time. Yeah, nobody wanted no part of Smoking Joe. Ali had just got suspended, remember? Yeah, 1968, Nino Benvenuti, great Italian fighter. That's Nino on the right. Probably the best fighter to ever come out of Italy. Nino Benvenuti. In 1968, Benvenuti achieved 2 feats in boxing. He defeated Hall of Famer Elmo Griffith to capture the undisputed World Middleweight Championship, and he successfully defended his title against top contender Don Fulmer. In 7 total fights during 1968, Benvenuti had 7 wins and no losses. In 1969 was Jose Napoles, Mantequilla. That's him on the right. That means butter, as in smooth. Mantequilla, Jose Napoles. 1969 was a defining year for Napoles. In April, he stopped Curtis Coates to capture the undisputed World Welterweight Championship. The very next day, he was granted Mexican citizenship by then President Gustavo Diaz Ordaz. He decisively defeated Coates in a rematch later in the year, retaining his title, and he successfully defended his title a second time against former champion Elmo Griffith. Mantequilla went undefeated in 4 fights on the year. Okay, then we go to the 1970s. 1970s Fighters of the Year. We got every fighter of the year ever. From 1928 to the current reigning fighter of the year from 2025. The last one awarded. And in 1970, Smoking Joe Frazier wins the award for the second time. Okay? Ali was gone. Thomas Hill in the building. What's up, T. Hill? We're back. Took a little break, T. Hill, but we're back now. And Crush the Legend in the building. Salute, Crush. That's one of my YouTube nephews, Crush the Legend. Salute, Crush. Crush is 6:30 in the morning, Monday through Fridays, most weekdays. And salute the legendary Thomas Hill and Crush the Legend. 2 legends just walked in the door. Okay, we doing gentlemen today every fight of the year from 1928 all the way to the reigning fighter of the year 2025, the last one awarded. We start 1970. Smoking Joe Frazier was the fighter of the year for 1970. In 1970, Frazier became the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world and made 2 successful title defenses. Frazier's 2 fights during the year were dominant knockouts over former heavyweight champion Jimmy Ellis and reigning light heavyweight champion Bob Foster. In 1971, Smoking Joe did a repeat to win the award for the 3rd time. Everybody know what happened in 1971, right? Frazier achieved his most defining victory in 1971 by handing Muhammad Ali the first loss of his professional career in the historic Fight of the Century. It was Smoking Joe's only fight during the year, but this defining victory firmly cemented his status as the true undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Because up to that point, everybody was saying, well, Ali's the real champion. He was stripped, he didn't lose in the ring. But after that, that stopped because he lost in the ring to Smoking Joe Frazier. Ali was no longer the people's champion. Smoking Joe Frazier was the true champion because he beat Ali right there in the middle of the ring. Dropped him in the 15th round. So that Ali's people champion stuff, 1971, that was over. Smoking Joe was the real champion after that. Okay, he proved it right there in the middle of the ring against Muhammad Ali. And then in 1972, again, we had co-fighters of the year. Muhammad Ali won his third one, and King Carlos Monzon. Let's look at what Ali did first. In 1972, Ali had an incredibly active and dominant year, where he competed in 6 fights, winning all 6 and successfully defending his North American Boxing Federation, NABF title, little minor title back then, NABF heavyweight title. Now, the dominant run included wins over top names of the era, including George Chuvalo, Jerry Quarry, Floyd Patterson, and Bob Foster. That was Jerry Quarry 2. Jerry Quarry 1 was the fight of the day today. And then the co-fighter of the year that year was King Carlos Monzon. King Carlos. King Carlos didn't lose for the final 13 years of his career. Okay, there's King Carlos. King Carlos Monzon, co-fighter of the year in 1972, along with Muhammad Ali. Now, Monzon also had an active and dominant fighting schedule in 1972, successfully defending his undisputed world middleweight title 4 times against contenders Denny Moyer, Jean-Claude Bautier, Tom Boggs, and Bad Benny Briscoe. Yep, King Carlos. He was undisputed middleweight champion from 1970 to 1977 when he retired. Then that's when all the problems started, after he retired. That's another show right there. In 1973, Big George Foreman wins first of his several Fighter of the Year awards. Yeah, Foreman. That's when he demolished Joe Frazier in 1973. In 1973, Foreman captured the undisputed World Heavyweight Championship by demolishing previously undefeated champion Joe Frazier in just 2 rounds in January. Later in the year, he successfully defended his titles by destroying Jose Ramon in 1 round. His blistering, dominant performance against Frazier was named Ring's Fight of the Year. Okay, then 1974, Muhammad Ali wins it for the 4th time. Muhammad Ali, 4th time. In 1974, Ali famously regained the undisputed World Heavyweight Championship by knocking out the undefeated and heavily favored, thought to be unbeatable, George Foreman in the legendary Rumble in the Jungle, in one of the greatest upsets in sports history, not just boxing, sports history. Earlier in the year, Ali had defeated his fierce rival, Joe Frazier, in their rematch. Now, Ali only competed in those 2 fights in 1974, but they were victories over 2 all-time great Hall of Famers, Big George Foreman and Smoking Joe Frazier. The 1975 was an incredible year for Ali. He repeated and won it for the 2nd time. But listen to this, 1975 was just incredible. Ali successfully defended his undisputed heavyweight championship in 4 brutal fights in 1975. I mean, all 4 brutal fights. Most notably, winning the iconic Thriller in Manila against Joe Frazier. This was one of the most grueling and historic fights in boxing history. But before that, Ali's rigorous fighting schedule in 1975 included successful defenses against three of the most rugged and tough heavyweights ever: Chuck Webner, Ron Lyle, and Joe Bugner. And to put the year's toughness in perspective for Ali, those three fights were before Frazier and the Thriller in Manila. Okay? Thriller in Manila came after that. He had three rugged, tough, brutal fights against Chuck Webner, Ron Lyle, and Joe Bugner. And then that brutal fight with Joe Frazier in the Thriller in Manila after that. So that's when they say that Floyd TV nonsense. I just laugh, man. Floyd ain't never did nothing like that, man. Ali is the greatest for a reason. Chuck Webner, Ron Lyle, and Joe Bugner, and then Joe Frazier and the Thriller in Manila all in the same year. But 1976 was Big George Foreman again. TBE, Floyd, yeah, ha ha ha. That should be a punchline for a joke. But George Foreman, 1976, wins the award for the second time. Big George. Now, Big George earned the award in 1976 by successfully rebuilding his career with 4 dominant knockout victories during the year, including a slugfest with Ron Lyle, which was selected Ring's Fight of the Year and also had the Round of the Year. In June, Foreman scored another vicious knockout of Joe Frazier in their rematch. And to cap off his dominant year, Big George notched stoppage wins over Scott Liddell and John Dino Dennis in the 3rd and 4th rounds, respectively. That's another one, Scott Liddell. See, they were what you call catching. Scott Liddell, Ron Lyle, Chuck Webner, Joe Bugner, George Chivallo, where they take 5 or 6 punches to get one. And then in this era, those type of fighters couldn't compete because they stopped fights too fast nowadays. And those fighters thrived off getting punished, taking punches and coming back. So we don't have no classic catchers nowadays. Fighters like Chuck Webner, George Chivallo, Ron Lyle, Joe Bugner, Scott Liddell couldn't compete nowadays because of the safety consciousness of the sport. You don't have no classic catchers anymore. They just couldn't compete in this era of the sport. In this weak-ass era of the sport, let me add. But yeah, no classic catchers nowadays. I'm not saying safety is bad, but those type of fighters just couldn't compete nowadays because that was the way they fought. If they didn't come out with 2 swollen eyes, bottom lip hanging down, jaw sticking out, they didn't feel they did their best. So they couldn't compete nowadays. But 1977 was the great Carlos Zarate. This was another spectacular year right here, Carlos Zarate. In 1977, Zarate achieved legendary status by winning the historic battle of the Z-Boys against undefeated WBA champion Alfonso Zamora. Those two are the only 2 fighters to have 20 or more knockout streaks twice. They had 2 streaks of 20 straight knockouts twice in their careers. And Zarate also defended his WBC bantamweight title 3 times, becoming the first Mexican boxer ever to be named the Ring Fighter of the Year. That was hard to believe. 1977 from 2028, the first Mexican fighter to win the award. But I went back and checked, he was. His 3 successful defenses of his WBC title came against Fernando Cabanella, Danilo Batista, and Juan Francisco Rodriguez. And get this, following his win over Zamora, Zarate was widely considered the best pound-for-pound fighter in the sport. With Ali, all them heavyweights, Roberto Duran, Alexis Arguello, Benitez, all of them, Zarate was Mr. Pound for Pound. At least in 1977 he was the best fighter in the sport in the 70s. That's saying something. That's why I always say the 70s was not just golden age for heavyweights. That was just a golden age period for boxing, 1970s. And then in 1978, Ali won it for his final 6th and record-setting time. Fighter of the Year, 1978, Muhammad Ali. final one. And that's the record, 6. Ali made boxing history by defeating Leon Spinks to reclaim the World Heavyweight Championship with this victory, becoming the first boxer ever to capture the heavyweight title 3 times. This monumental achievement earned Ali recognition across the sport. Fighter of the Year, the Spinks rematch was Fight of the Year, and round 15 of the fight was Round of the Year. And then 1979, Sugar Ray Leonard wins his first Fighter of the Year award. Sugar Ray Leonard, 1979. In 1979, Leonard compiled a flawless 9-0 pro record, culminating in his win against Wilfred Benitez to capture his first Pro World Championship, the WBC and lineal welterweight titles. Before challenging Benitez for the title, Leonard defeated 8 other opponents that year, most notably securing a swift first-round knockout victory over highly ranked contender Andy Price. Yeah, Sugar Ray got his first title that year. Pearl Sir in the building. What's up, Pearl Sir? We looking at every Fighter of the Year. We started in 1928, the first one, coming all the way up to 2025, the current reigning Fighter of the Year. But now we're at 1980. And after Leonard won it in 1980, Leonard won it in 1979. The next year, 1980, was the Hitman. Thomas Hearns was the Fighter of the Year, 1980. The Hearns extended his undefeated record to 29-0 in 1980, adding 6 wins during the year to capture his first major world title by stopping Pepino Cuevas. Hearns' stunning knockout of Cuevas solidified his reputation as one of the sport's most devastating punches. In 1981, it was Sugar Ray Leonard again, winning the award. Had co-fighters of the year in 81. It was Sugar Ray Leonard and Salvador Sanchez, co-fighters of the year 81. Let's look at Leonard first. In 1981, Leonard achieved 2 massive milestones. He won against Ayub Kalule to capture the junior middleweight title, and he won an epic battle with Thomas Hearns to unify the undisputed welterweight championship. And we had 2 fighters of the year for 81. Salvador Sanchez also. He was a co-fighter of the year. Now, Sanchez's 1981 campaign was highlighted by a spectacular one-sided victory over the previously undefeated dynamite punching Wilfredo Gomez and a successful WBC featherweight title defense against Pat Caldwell. Sanchez made 4 title defenses overall during the year. Okay. 1982 was the Eastern Assassin, Larry Holmes. I think that was his first and only Fighter of the Year award. Larry Holmes. Yeah, shared with Shava. Kuro, that's right. 81, right? Yeah, 81. Sugar Ray and Shava, 81. Then 82 was Larry Holmes. I think that was the only one Larry Holmes ever got. Now, Holmes had 2 fights in 1982, both successful defenses of his WBC heavyweight championship. The first resulted in a dramatic 13th round TKO over the undefeated Jerry Cooney, and the second was a wide decision over Randall Tex Cobb. Now, these were 2 major mega fights, and Holmes' dominant performances solidified his reputation as boxing preeminent heavyweight at the time. And then in 1983, Marvin Hagler wins the award. Marvelous Marvin Hagler successfully defended his world middleweight title 3 times in 1983. In February, he retained this title with a 6th round TKO against challenger Tough Tony Simpson. In May, he defended his title by fourth-round knockout against RECIPIENT. His final defense of the year was a hard-fought 15-round unanimous decision against legendary multiple division champion, the Great Hands of Stone, Hall of Famer, great legendary Roberto Duran. Hagler's undefeated 1983 campaign was a key part of his dominant 7-year reign as the undisputed middleweight king. He beat the legendary, great, excellent Hall of Famer Roberto Duran that year. Tough fight. Duran was winning after 13 rounds. Hagler needed them last two. Duran was winning after 12 or 13. Hagler needed the last few rounds, and he got them. But it was a very, very surprising competitive fight. Everybody thought it was going to be a brawl, but it was like a nice little technical boxing match, right? Duran and Hagler figured that. You thought that would have been a war, but it wasn't. It was a great fight. Then Thomas Hearns won it in 1984 for his second time, the Hitman. Okay, so Technique in the building. What's up, Technique? We looking at all the fighters, all the Ring Magazine's fighters of the year, Tech, today. Every one of them, from 1928 all the way up to the current reigning one, from 2025, the last one ever selected this very year, which was Bud Crawford. Okay, he only had one fight last year, right? But that's how they do it nowadays. One fight. Back in them days, man, people would fight 14, 15 times to get the award. But let's continue. Tommy Hearns in 1980 something. Where are we? 1984. Okay, but salute Technique. Now, Hearns was selected Ring Magazine's Fighter of the Year for 1984, primarily because of his devastating career-defining second-round knockout victory over boxing legend, the great Roberto Duran. This marquee win is widely remembered for Hearns being the first boxer to ever defeat the legendary Duran, but to ever defeat Duran by knockout, dropping him 3 total times. Hearns competed in 3 fights altogether for the year, winning them all. And Duran don't have a Fighter of the Year award. That's crazy. The way he went through the 70s. Number 1 Fighter of the Year. Wow. That's crazy. 1985, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. That's crazy. Roberto Duran don't have at least 1. He should have had 4 or 5 in the 70s. 54-1. He had to have some years in there where he was the best fighter of the year. But I guess they were just biased. But Marvin Hagler won it in 1985. In 1985, Hagler's only fight was the epic, ferocious 3-round war against Thomas the Hitman Hearns. Despite the fight lasting only 3 rounds, the non-stop back-and-forth brawling is widely considered one of the greatest and most intense fights in boxing history. And besides Hagler being selected Fighter of the Year, the fight was voted Fight of the Year, and round 1 was voted Round of the Year. And we had co-fighters of the year for 85, Donald Curry. Called him the Cobra too. Donald Curry was the other Fighter of the Year in 1985 along with Hagler. Now, Curry became the first undisputed welterweight champion in 3 years in 1985. He successfully defended his titles and notched the devastating second-round knockout of unbeaten champion Milton McCrory in a unification fight. Earlier in the year, Curry successfully retained his welterweight titles by stoppage over Colin Jones. Curry's spectacular 1985 run solidified him as a pound-for-pound great. In 1986, Iron Mike came on the scene. Mike Tyson. That's Holyfield. That's Tyson. Okay, yeah. Mike Tyson came on the scene. 1986. Well, his first one. He got a couple of them. Iron Mike did. Yeah, that's true technique. Yeah, Hitman. He had that one hitter quitter that could change fights. That right hand. Okay. Mike Tyson, 1986. Now, Tyson made boxing history in 1986, winning the heavyweight championship at 20 years old, making him the youngest heavyweight champion ever. It still is to this day. Throughout 1986, he compiled a staggering 13-0 record with 11 knockouts. And nobody was fighting that many times in a year anymore then, but Mike had 13 fights in 86 with 11 knockouts. A couple of notable victories during the year came against contenders Mitch Green and Jose Rabata, and then Holyfield in 1987. That's JCC. We're not up to there yet. Holyfield. Okay, yeah, Holyfield in 1987. Holyfield. In 1987, Holyfield successfully defended his WBA cruiserweight title and unified the division by adding the IBF belt to his collection. Now, during this stellar year, he compiled a perfect 4-0 record with 4 knockouts against top 10 contenders: Henry Tillman, 7th round TKO; Ricky Parkey, 3rd round TKO; R.C. Ocasio, 11th round TKO; and Dwight Muhammad Qawi by 4th round knockout in their highly anticipated rematch. These wins during his dominant 1987 left no doubt about Holyfield being at the top of the division. And in 1988, Mike repeated. Yeah, Mike Tyson, well, didn't repeat, but he won it again. He didn't go back to back. 2 out of 3 years. Tyson solidified his dominance in 1988 by defeating previously undefeated Michael Spinks by a spectacular 91-second first round knockout to claim the lineal and undisputed heavyweight championship. Tyson also defended his titles against Larry Holmes by a 4th round knockout in 88. He also successfully defended against Tony Tubbs by a 2nd round TKO. Tyson's 1988 run was entertaining and destructive, and that Tubbs fight was in the same place where Buster Douglas beat him a few years later. Yep, and then Colonel Sweet Pea Whitaker in 1989 was Fighter of the Year. Now, Whitaker finished 1989 with a perfect 4-0 record. In February, he defeated Greg Hargan by unanimous decision to win his first Pro World Championship at lightweight. In August, he decisively beat Jose Luis Ramirez in a rematch to unify the WBC with his WBA title. This victory avenged his highly controversial 1988 split decision loss to Ramirez. His successful run in 1989 led to him becoming the undisputed lightweight champion the following year. Okay, then in 1990, it was JCC was Fighter of the Year. There's JCC on the left there. Julio Cesar Chavez secured a historic and controversial 12th round technical knockout over undefeated Olympic gold medalist Meldrick Taylor in 1990. This spectacular comeback victory was named the Ring Magazine's Fight of the Year for 1990 and later was dubbed the Fight of the Decade for the 1990s. JCC competed in 5 fights during the year, winning them all by stoppage, including a 3rd round knockout over his mandatory challenger, Kenyang Duke On. JCC was in 5 fights that year, won them all by stoppage. Okay, 1991. Lights Out wins his first of a few. James Lights Out Tony. There he is. James Lights Out Tony, Fighter of the Year for 1991. In 1991, Tony won the IBF middleweight title by pulling off a massive upset against the previously undefeated Michael Nunn. He followed that up with a successful title defense against Reggie Johnson and a legendary, grueling split decision draw with Mike McCallum, which was named Fight of the Year for 1991. Lights Out had 6 fights overall in 1991 with 5 wins and a draw. Okay, we're gonna go to 3:30, and then we're gonna complete this tomorrow because it's getting late. Okay, I might drop the link at 3:30, but yeah, because we're not gonna get them all in. We're going all the way to 2025. Well, Wednesday. I'm Monday, Wednesday, and Friday now. Okay, 3 days a week. Give me a day in between each show to prepare it and make it better. But 1992 was Big Daddy, Riddick Bowe. Big Daddy, Riddick Bowe. That's Glenn Johnson. I'm sorry, I done got out of order. There he is, Riddick Bowe. 1992. We're going to go to 1995 and stop. Now, Bowe's spectacular 1992 campaign was defined by several major accomplishments. He became the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world by defeating the previously undefeated Evander Holyfield to capture the WBA, WBC, and IBF titles. Earlier in the year, Bowe cemented his status as the mandatory contender by stopping South African champion Pierre Coetzee in a WBA eliminator. Yeah, Bruce Gas told me how to pronounce that. I was saying Coetzee. Bowe had 4 wins and no losses on the year. And then 1993 was Michael Carvajal. In 1993, Carvajal won Fighter of the Year, primarily by unifying the WBC and IBF Junior Flyweight World titles. He achieved this by scoring dramatic 7th-round knockouts, a knockout against Humberto Chiquita Gonzalez. Carvajal won all 3 of his fights during the year by knockout. In 1994, we're going to stop here until Wednesday and pick it back up because we got to go all the way to 2025, and we got like 25 more years we're not going to get them in. So 1994 was Roy Jones Jr. In 1994, Jones cemented his status as the sport's premier pound-for-pound fighter by defending his IBF middleweight title and moving up to super middleweight to dethrone previously undefeated 46-0 champion James Toney. This historic win, along with knockout defenses against Danny Garcia and Thomas Tate, gave Roy 3 impressive victories for the year without a defeat. Well, I got to do this one, because this is a good one here. Oscar, this is the last one. Oscar won it for 1995. Oscar De La Hoya. Tremendous year for Oscar. In 1995, the Golden Boy had a spectacular year where he cemented his status as a boxing superstar by successfully defending his lightweight title and unifying the division. And get this, all 4 of his fights in the year were against top 10 ranked opponents. Who does that in the modern era? In February, he successfully defended his WBO crown against former world champion John Molina by unanimous decision. In a highly anticipated unification fight in May, Oscar scored a 2nd-round technical knockout over Rafael Ruelas to unify the IBF title with his WBO belt. In September, he relinquished the IBF belt to defend his WBO title against the undefeated Gennaro Hernandez, forcing Hernandez to quit after 6 rounds. To close out the year, he defended his WBO title in December, stopping Jesse James Legion in the 2nd round. 1995 was an amazing year for the Golden Boy. Go back and look at it. All 4 of them were top 10 opponents. John Molina, Rafael Ruelas, Gennaro Hernandez, and Jesse James Legion. Oscar had an amazing year in 1995. Okay, I'm going to stop it right there because we got to go away to 2025. We're not going to get them in. So, yeah. That's anybody interested in hitting the link, come on down or up. Okay. But yeah, next week we're going to do the Ring Magazine rounds of the year. Now, that started in 1945. They didn't start naming a round of the year until 1945. So we probably be able to do all of those in one day. Round of the year. Okay, but that's next week. And we only 3 days a week now. That'll give me a day in between each show to research and make everything better. Make the shows better. I noticed we've been doing some repeats lately, Hard to come up. So, just, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Okay, there's the link. Everybody welcome to hit the link and come up for the last half hour to close it down, because we got to go all the way to 2026, and we're not going to have enough time to finish. So we'll finish Wednesday, 3 days a week now. Yeah. But we had boxing in India too. We've been doing countries every time permitting at the end of shows. So I can start taking a look at that. Or finish up the 90s. Where were we, Oscar? Let's continue the 90s. In case, if and when somebody hits the link. So Oscar had 4 top 10 opponents in 1995. Just an incredible year for him. But then 1996 was Evander Holyfield, the real deal. Holyfield, Fighter of the Year for 1996. Holyfield. It won't change. Oh man, that's Hagler. Here's Holyfield. Holyfield was 1996. Okay. So in 1996, Holyfield made history by scoring an 11th round TKO against the heavily favored Mike Tyson to reclaim the heavyweight title. This monumental victory made him the first boxer since Muhammad Ali to win a World Heavyweight Championship 3 times. Holyfield's only other outing of the year was a stoppage win against Bobby Ches. If we can finish up the 90s. 1997 was Holyfield again. Holyfield repeated in 1997 as Fighter of the Year. Holyfield accomplished a successful heavyweight title defense against Mike Tyson in the infamous Bite fight and knocked out Michael Moorer in 1997. These standout performances solidified Holyfield's dominance during the year. And in 1998, Floyd won it. Floyd was Fighter of the Year in 1998. In 1998, a 21-year-old Floyd Mayweather Jr. achieved his breakout year by capturing his first pro world title and compiling a dominant undefeated campaign. Floyd stayed remarkably active during the year, fighting 7 times. His first world title win came against Gennaro Hernandez by 8th round stoppage, and his first defense came in a high-profile matchup against top contender Angel Manfredi, which Floyd won by 2nd round knockout. And then in the final year of 1999, before the new millennium, was Paulie Ayala. Paulie Ayala was Fighter of the Year in 1999. Paulie. Now, in 1999, Ayala won the WBA Bantamweight Championship by handing the previously undefeated Johnny Tapia his first career loss. This thrilling upset was widely celebrated, and their sensational 12-round fight was named the Ring Magazine Fight of the Year. Ayala compiled a record of 3 wins and no losses on the year. And then to start the new millennium out, Tito was the first Fighter of the Year for the 2000s. Tito Trinidad. Here's Tito against Winky. Tito and Winky. Winky was amazing. Winky could get in the high guard and cover his head and body all the way down to his waist. You know, he had a hell of a wingspan. Yeah, Winky be in that high guard, and you couldn't have nowhere to punch at. You couldn't hit him in the body and bring the high guard down because he had that covered too. So wow. But Tito, there's Tito on the left. He was Fighter of the Year for 2000. Now, Tito secured his 2000 Fighter of the Year honors by moving up to the junior middleweight division and dominating 2 undefeated champions in spectacular fashion. In March, Tito rose from a 3rd round knockdown to hand Olympic gold medalist David Reed a punishing unanimous decision defeat to capture the WBA title. And then in July, he successfully defended his title with a dominant 3rd round knockout of Mamadou Thiam. In his 3rd Fight of the Year in December, Tito engaged in a legendary mega fight against undefeated IBF champion Fernando Vargas, scoring 2 knockdowns and finishing the fight with a dramatic 12th round TKO to unify the division. Trinidad's flawless 3-0 2000 campaign against top-tier opponents made him Fighter of the Year. And then in 2001 was B-Hop. Yeah, we might as well just keep going. 339. Yeah. Uh-oh. Stay with me for one moment, please. I done hit my own mate. That's crazy. Okay. B-Hop. 2001, Bernard Hopkins was the Fighter of the Year. In 2001, B-Hop unified the middleweight division to become the undisputed champion. He achieved this by defeating previously undefeated WBC champion Keith Holmes in April and handing superstar Felix Trinidad his first career loss with a 12th round TKO in September, earning the WBA, WBC, and Ring Magazine belts. By winning the unification, B-Hop tied the legendary Carlos Monzon for consecutive successful middleweight title defenses at that time with 14. Now I think since it's like 20. I think B-Hop and Triple G got the record now with 20 middleweight title defenses. In 2002, Fighter of the Year was the Viper, Vernon Forrest, the Viper. In 2002, Forrest defeated Shane Mosley twice. In the process, he captured the WBC and lineal welterweight titles, handing Mosley the first defeat of his professional career. Forrest dominated the first fight, knocking Mosley down twice on the way to a unanimous decision. In the rematch, later in 2002, Forrest proved the first fight was no fluke, controlling the later rounds to win another clear, unanimous decision victory. The Viper, Vernon Forrest. Then 2003, Lights Out wins his second Fighter of the Year award. In 2003, James Lights Out Toney captured the IBF Cruiserweight title and successfully moved up to the heavyweight division. In April, Toney defeated the undefeated Vasily Giroud by unanimous decision to win the IBF Cruiserweight title. The move to heavyweight took place in October. He dominated and stopped four-time heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield. Toney's achievements in 2003 helped to cement his legacy as one of the most skilled and resilient fighters of his generation. Lights out. James Toney. Okay, 2003 Fighter of the Year. 2004, this man has the most fitting nickname in boxing, the Road Warrior, Glenn Johnson. There he's on the right. This man fought in like 14 different countries on his career. The Road Warrior, Glenn Johnson. Glenn the Road Warrior Johnson scored 3 massive light heavyweight victories over world-class opponents in 2004, culminating in a world title and 2 major upsets. In February, he defeated Clinton Woods by unanimous decision to win the IBF light heavyweight title. In one of his massive upsets during the year, he stopped Roy Jones in the 6th round in September. This fight was named Ring Magazine's Upset of the Year. Johnson's other massive upset came in December when he out-hustled light heavyweight kingpin Antonio Tarver, winning a tightly contested split decision. He had wins over Roy Jones and Antonio Tarver in that year. The Road Warrior, Glenn Johnson. Okay, 2005 was Ricky the Hitman Hatton was Fighter of the Year. Now Hatton had a career-defining year in 2005 by capturing the IBF, the Ring, and lineal junior welterweight titles. His 2005 campaign featured 2 monumental wins. In June, the Hitman entered his title fight against undisputed champion Kostya Tszyu as a heavy underdog. Hatton forced Tszyu to retire on his stool after round 11. Then, in November, Hatton unified his titles by knocking out WBA champion Carlos Marsa in the 9th round. This run solidified Hatton's legacy as the first British fighter in history to receive Ring Magazine's Fighter of the Year award. Now, that was unbelievable. I mean, first British fighter to win the award, 2005 for 1928. What's that? 77 years. I had to go back and check every one of them. British boxing been around since the 1800s, the Queensberry rules. It took 77 years for a British fighter to win Ring Magazine's Fighter of the Year. They clearly biased because American publication, and Roberto Duran never won one. So Ring clearly had their biases to American fighters. Ain't no doubt about that, man. A British fighter didn't win the award for 77 years. Roberto Duran never won one. Yeah, Ring was definitely biased toward American fighters. Now, other fighters, other nationalities did win it, but majority of the time it was Americans. Annette Fleischer was a great, Ring magazine was a great publication and everything, but they had their biases there. Roberto Duran should have definitely had one in the 70s. Okay, so let's finish up the 2000s, and we'll finish the rest Wednesday. 2007. No, 2006, Manny Pacquiao. Now, Manny dominated the back half of the first decade of the 2000s. Manny absolutely dominated. He won like from 2006 to 2010, he was Fighter of the Year like 4 times. 2006, Manny Pacquiao. In 2006, Manny had 3 high-profile fights, going 3-0, demonstrating exceptional knockout power and dominance in the super featherweight division. He solidified his superstar status by twice defeating future Hall of Famer Eric Morales and beating Oscar Larios. His 2006 performance was characterized by avenging his 2005 loss to Morales and cementing his status as one of the premier fighters below 135 pounds. And in 2007, Floyd won it again for the second time. Floyd Mayweather Jr. Floyd secured 2 major victories in different weight classes, and setting at the time the highest grossing pay-per-view record in boxing history. His major accomplishments in 2007 included capturing a title in his 5th weight class, defeating Oscar De La Hoya by a 12-round split decision. This fight was a record-setting pay-per-view event. In his other fight of 2007, Floyd returned to welterweight and defeated undefeated Ricky Hatton by TKO and unified the Ring and WBC titles. These 2 wins against top-tier opponents, combined with breaking financial record for the sport, led to Floyd becoming the pound-for-pound king in 2007. Okay. Okay, what's up, Arnie? Yeah. What's up, Arnie? Oh, I didn't add him. What's up, Arnie?
How you doing, sir?
Okay. Yeah, we'll start there Wednesday. We was doing every Fighter of the Year. So we'll start there Wednesday. I was gonna stop because we're not gonna have enough time to get to 2025. No way.
You're
but
not
how you
in
doing?
tomorrow?
No, I'm Monday, Wednesday, and Friday now.
Okay. I'll be on later. I'll be on later today at 9 p.m. if you want to pull
Yeah,
up.
I'm gonna try to get on there with you. Not about 9?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to 3 days a week, Arnie, because it was you know, give me time to better have a day between shows to better prepare them and everything, you know.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe doing a day show here and there because just to see if I can.
You might jump in there on Tuesday and Wednesdays at 2. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking like after Crush or something like that, like what Jay Hardcore used to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah. Because you be working in the afternoon anyway, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like my work schedule is fluctuating, so sometimes it's better during the day because a lot of times I come home and it's already like 15 to 9, and I'm like, oh man, I'm doing something else.
Also, you think about like earlier in the mornings then?
Yeah, maybe 1 or 2 days. I'll still do nights here and there, you know, because it's better.
Yeah.
But how you doing, sir? Is everything good?
Everything's good. How you like those fights this past weekend?
The Keyshawn card was what it was. You know, I was happy for Norman.
Yeah. He got back in the. Well, they fed him that guy to get him back in the winning ways. You know.
Exactly.
They wasn't going to give nobody that had a chance of beating him, after his last loss. So yeah.
The thing is that I didn't get a big body of work to tell what Ronnie has done with him.
Yeah, you didn't. That's true. Exactly.
But I mean, we'll see, because we'll see what's next for him. That's the big question now. Who does he get next? Is it Tiger Johnson? I want to see Tiger Johnson personally.
And B. Norman.
Yeah,
that would be a good test for him. Because some of the things he didn't do well against Devin, like you said, you didn't get a chance to see if he improved in them or not, because he didn't have enough time. And that wasn't the type of opponent that would test him,
for sure.
Those things. So yeah, Tiger would be good though. That's a good one.
Yeah, for sure. But people saying Conor Ben, I'm not.
Nah, no. I wouldn't want to see that.
What do you think about Usyk and this guy, Rico?
That's this weekend, right?
Yep.
Usyk will outbox him and
outclass him.
Yeah, dominate him. Like Keyshawn and Albright. Keyshawn was just too much. It's levels to it,
Yeah. Albright's a tricky, complicated fighter, but Keyshawn did his thing. That's the truth.
I figured he wouldn't stop him, because Albright is one of them kind of fighters.
Exactly.
He's hard to stop. Keyshawn admitted it, he's hard to stop,
For sure, man.
Yeah. He almost had him in the 11th and 12th round, though.
Yep. And there was a couple of choke slams that fight,
Yeah, well.
But T Hill, how you doing, brother? God bless.
Yeah. What's up, T Hill? You know what? I don't know what that was. Was that a suplex? What was that, like the fourth round or something? He threw him 2 feet across the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
An Andre the Giant move.
What did you think about the fight?
Keyshawn was too much. Skills pay the bills. Levels to this, all that,
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see it from that standpoint a little bit. I think also Wu didn't come to fight like he was supposed to. I think that, given everything that took place, the context of everything, you're going there. You said you was going there to make a statement, and you didn't even try to make a statement.
Nah, he definitely didn't make no statement.
And, I didn't think that, Keyshawn did too much terribly to try to convince him of not making a statement. I mean.
Yeah. Somebody was saying last week they hope he wasn't like taking a dive, like, So, oh no, man. Boxing is part of the money nowadays. And, down there in Norfolk, and after the last time, they didn't want none of the brothers to lose or anything. I don't know, man. I'm just throwing that out there. What y'all think?
That Kelvin fight was, I'm not going to go as far as to say that Dodson got robbed, because Dodson also, I think, didn't take full advantage of Kelvin's, what should I call it? Because Kelvin, the first 2-3 rounds, he was manning the distance, taking it with a jab, doing his thing, right? So I was like, listen, if he stays disciplined, not every performance is going to be pretty, and he's, I believe, coming off a loss. So you might want to, quote unquote, keep it safe and just get the W. But for whatever reason, from round 4 or 5 on, he stopped using his jab as much, and Dobson was able to close the distance and do his thing. And I actually felt, obviously, since it's in their hometown, they're going to be like home cooking and whatever. But
it ain't close,
I didn't necessarily. I'm good with the split one because, Dobson did his thing here and there, but I don't think it was home cooking, man, because to me it was a close fight and both fighters left a lot to be desired.
Yeah. I think Calvin, as soon as he get in there with somebody, he's going to get exposed. He's not that talented.
I believe so.
I like the younger brother. What's his name?
I didn't see his fight as Kevon, I think.
Keon, yeah. He got talent, but Calvin, nah.
Like, he's got the perfect build because he got long legs, long arms, and small torso and everything. But I don't know what it is that he's too tentative for my liking.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that great of a jab, in my opinion. He needs to work on that.
And to be big like he is with the reach and all that kind of stuff, you know, he should need to work on that jab, man.
Yeah, you need to have a respectable, a real sticky jab or power jab or whatever it is. But you need to have a jab that will, get the attention of the opponent, serious attention. You know that okay, I gotta work on my head movement, on my angles, this and that, so I can get past this. Because if they don't respect your jab like that, man, you're in for a rude awakening.
Who'd y'all like to see Keyshawn fight next?
Tiger Johnson. No, excuse me. That was Norman. Keyshawn is going to move up, right, to 47.
Yeah, 147. Got to. He can't make 140 no more.
Right. So if he wants that Devin fight, I want that Devin fight, but not straight up. I would say first he needs probably the winner of Catterall and Giasov.
Okay.
So for me, it's time for you because let's face it. I mean, Wu's a good fighter, but Wu didn't come to fight. Part of that is because of what Keyshawn did, but I don't know what else was that. I mean, when you're there to fight, you're there to fight no matter what. I seen people be getting their ass whooped and still fight. He wasn't even getting his ass whooped and he was fighting. So with that being the case, I want somebody that's going to try him. Now, if he's going to be in 40, because that fight was for 40, there are plenty of opportunities for him to fight people that can be hell, Sandor Martin is there.
That'd be a good one.
And he's on the same team line, right? He's still on the same docket. Isn't he still with what's the name? Or is he with the PBC?
Who?
No, Sandor Martin.
Oh, Sandor Martin. I'm not sure who Sandor
I thought he last fought on the ESPN card.
Yeah, he did.
So I mean, that's a card or fight that can be made. There's also
probably still there, yeah.
There's also champions. There's also Frank Martin. There's also
that's a great fight, Frank Martin, because they got a history and everything.
The rematch between them two, yeah.
No, I'm talking about Keyshawn. I was talking about Keyshawn.
Yeah. Is Frank at 147?
Yeah, I would love to see the fight. Hell, if he's thinking about going up, well, then there's Brian Norman Jr.
Yeah,
who's in limbo.
Bob ain't gonna put them together though. Not yet. They still trying to rebuild Norman, I think they're gonna.
I don't know. I don't know if they fully rocking with both of them. Both of them have dropped the ball at some point in time.
Yeah.
And one did it even more egregious than the other because at the hometown they was rolling up the red carpet for the nigga and he messed up. And then he came back in similar fashion, was missing weight again. So it's like, I think this is a point because there's a time where Abdullah's gonna have to move up, and I think that time's coming sooner than later. And I think that's the precursor. I think that played the way it did because he was told by, look, we got to seal this like you struggling to make this weight so we can get you up. Because there's no plan for them two to fight one another. Just like there never was a plan for Valdez to fight Shakur when they both were champions. He said it was a stupid fight. So a unification fight is a stupid fight.
For Bob, he to keep all the belts spread out.
Yeah, he ain't gonna do that.
Like he got at what is it? Is it 135? Well, he got like 3 of them. He got Murray Tyler, Abdullah, and he ain't gonna let none of them fight each other. Why?
They're not fighting one another. They're for somebody upcoming to fight, or for them to pass it down to somebody in their ranks. Right. He doesn't like for them to fight one another. He just wants them to hold a belt. So therefore they can allure the talent their way. So now you take that in consideration with him struggling to make a way he just moved to a fight ago.
Crazy, man. His second fight.
A fight ago. Think about that.
That's crazy.
And then all the hoopla that he does about selling fights with possible people smaller than that. So clearly to me, Abdullah is not going to be at 35 for far too longer. They're planning for the next champion up underneath them to make way for those belts that they do hold and get them up to try to get belts there. And I think they're moving him up to 47.
That's how Bob does it.
So I'm not sure. I just think that the performance against Wu was good enough to win, and it definitely did that. I don't think it was nothing to write home about. I don't think it showed us that he is the businessman and he is the amazing Keyshawn Davis. It just showed us that he's a pretty decent fighter that was better than the person that he was in the ring with.
Right. Yeah. That's all. He definitely wasn't tested. Mm-mm.
Now, of the three Davises brothers, the younger one seems to have the more goods package with him. Mm-hmm. And I think that Kelvin, he was fortunate to be given, he was awarded the victory.
Yeah.
I think a couple of fighters on that card was awarded victories. I think there were some good scraps, but for the most part, it was some sloppy scraps on that card. And
Calvin, he ain't gonna be on too many more DB cards once he start getting his butt whipped.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time before you get in there with somebody that's gonna take advantage of it. Really take advantage. Well, he was in the ring with somebody who took advantage of him. It was Wu. Wu took advantage of him. And
Wu, that's right. Yeah.
The thing is that Wu that came and showed up that fight didn't come to show up this time around in the same damn area. And that has a little bit to do with Keyshawn, but it has a lot to do with him. You didn't come all that way, talked all that talk, said what you was about to do, and he's gonna get you a knockout, a stoppage, to not throw punches.
What fight did Wu fight Calvin at, T Hill? Was it at 140?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Because Calvin at 147 now, right? So he moved up since that fight.
I think so.
Him and Dobson was at 147, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think their fight was at 40, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because Keyshawn was at 135 at that time. When he missed
weight. There are plenty of fights for Keyshawn to make.
What was the guy named he missed weight for the first time? De Los Santos. Yeah. De Los Santos. Right.
But if there's a person that has the belt that is with Top Rank, then that's where they should be making the fight. They should be trying to make sure that person, because Keyshawn don't technically have a belt right now.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So with that, make the fight for the belt. And then, position however. Oh, wait. Who does have the belts? It's Shakur.
Russell.
Russell. 140.
Dalton Smith. And
Dalton Smith, he's not Top Rank, right?
Dalton, I don't think. I think he's Matchroom.
He's Matchroom.
Oh, yeah, Eddie Hearn. Right.
He's Eddie Hearn. And then who's the other one?
Antoine. Did you say Antoine?
No, the other one is vacant because Hitchens vacant.
Then wasn't Hitchens? No, he was with also Matchroom as well too.
Yeah.
Did you say Gary
Antoine? Play that they should make. They should make
one, right? Yeah. Russell is the other one. Yeah.
Okay. That's it then. And one vacant.
I would go that route. That's where they should go. In fact, I think they should be making an appeal for that belt for the fighting for that belt right now. That is if he's going to stay at 40. But now if he's going to go to 47, and like I said, Bob wouldn't have put that out there unless that's not where he wants him.
Yeah.
Hey, McQueen, how you doing, brother?
What's up, Ant? I thought I brought
ubiquitous.
Yeah.
The ubiquitous. He might not be by his phone right now.
Do you guys like the Usyk card? I kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie because that Japanese girl can fight.
I'm gonna look at it.
Misuki Hiruta.
I haven't looked at the whole card.
So we got the co-main event is, I believe, the co-main event is Hamza Shiraz versus Alan Bejic. And before that, we got Jack Carroll versus Jack Arguizo, and Torres and Sanchez. And I forget about, it's pretty nice.
This weekend, right?
Yes, but I don't know the time because I don't know what the difference is with Egypt and
where they fighting at? Where's this card at?
Egypt.
Egypt. Wow. Yeah.
So I have no idea what's the time
neither.
difference.
I hope Sanchez is ready to fight, man. If he, there go Ant.
Yeah, me too, man. Otherwise, he's gonna get mollywopped.
Let's go, Xander.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
What's up, Ant?
Chilling, man.
What's not?
Hey, Ant, I don't know if you can make it or not, but just so you know, I'll be live tonight at 9 p.m. just in case.
Okie dokie. If I'm awake.
How you like that card this weekend, Ant? We was talking about that.
I thought it was decent.
Okay.
Thought it was decent. I had no qualms about it. I wasn't expecting it to be some sort of extravagant card. I thought it was going to be just decent.
Yeah. That's what it was, yeah.
Yeah, it felt like it was one of those cards to fill up a date. Top rank.
That's exactly what it turned out to be, yeah.
They have their new deal with DAZN. They need to get something going, right? So why not that? Why not Keyshawn? Get him back in the mix, or keep him in the mix rather. Keep him active. Get Brian Norman Jr. back in the mix.
Yeah.
Following, the first loss of his career in November. So give him a stay busy fight.
We was talking about fight for Keyshawn. About that.
It was all right.
You there, Ant?
Yeah, can you hear me?
We was talking about a good next opponent for him.
Next opponent?
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
Devin Haney called him out. Why not go to 147? Devin Haney said he wants to fight him. He called out Devin Haney post-fight.
And
he also stated that 147 may be next. So why not?
I want to see Keyshawn at 47, but I don't want to see him straight up against Devin Haney because he's ready for that.
I think he's ready for Devin Haney.
What y'all think about
he's
that?
As ready as he'll ever be.
The thing is, the reason why I say that is because I don't think he's ever Berinchyk was a boxer, but he's like half his size, and Jermaine Ortiz. Okay, if you want to do it straight up, I'll watch it. But honestly, I need to see him get one, if nothing else, because of the weight alone. But listen, if you want to do it straight up, me personally, I would prefer if he gets one before Devin Haney, just to be like, certain. Personally, I'm not sure that he's ready for Devin right now because Devin to me is. Man, he's got that jab. He's not going to give you that many looks. I think he probably gets outclassed right now against Devin Haney. But that's just me, though.
I can't see that happening. I can't see Devin Haney outclassing him.
Yeah, there's some things that Devin Haney does that's pretty fundamentally flawed that cater to Keyshawn Davis's strengths, man. It could be a hell of a matchup. On top of that, it's a way for Bob to get some get back with Devin Haney and the dealings that they had one with another. It puts him in the wheelhouse of what he was speaking towards about him not making weight easily and moving up. I think that would be a hell of a fight that could sell well too. So I'm with the fight. I'm really with the fight. I think that if Devin Haney is who he say he is, then he should really handle him without much problem. And if Keyshawn is who he say he is, he should make this one of the fights that Devin Haney has, one of the toughest fights that Devin Haney has had in his life. So why not put it together? And on top of that, show that you can have the same demographic and still do well with numbers.
They both act like they want it, so let's.
But at 47, I mean, because this was the bounce back card, because there were a lot of cats that were on this card that had to bounce back from a fight before where they had lost. There's also the Brian Norman fight there that can be made at 47. If
it was
irony how you feel. If so, then they need to give I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kaz. My bad. Go ahead, Kaz. My bad.
No, I was just saying you're right. It was a lot of fighters. No, it was a lot of comebacks. You're right. I was just agreeing. There was a lot of comebacks on this call.
It was a lot, right? And one of them was Brian Norman, correct? Brian Norman had to bounce back.
Yeah.
So why not? If what Irony is saying is so, and they need to get a tune-up, that would be a hell of a tune-up to get ready for Devin Haney.
That would be an awesome fight, bro. Keyshawn
Who's that?
Brian
Norman
and Keyshawn signed me up, bro.
Yeah, but I can't see that happening.
No, me neither.
What about Tiger Johnson?
I can't see that happening. But Tiger Johnson, after his last performance versus Nicholas Flores, and I'm assuming that he's moved up the rankings. Let me see where he is. I just don't see Top Rank knocking any of their own pieces off the board. I think that if those fights were to happen in-house, the stakes would have to be higher, not just
agreed
tune-up situation.
Yeah,
agreed.
Yeah, they're not gonna put Norman with Keyshawn because that'd be like 2 out of his last 3 fights would be lost.
I would love to see that Devin Haney Tiger Johnson fight.
Me too, bro. Not for nothing.
Oh yeah, Devin and Tiger.
Yeah,
I would love to see that fight.
Yeah,
like Keyshawn can see the winner of ESL and Cattle or somebody else, while Devin gets Tiger Johnson. I just feel like stylistically for Keyshawn, I would prefer Tiger Johnson because to me, stylistically, Tiger Johnson gets you more ready for Devin as opposed to a Norman does.
And then there's also, I hear you on that, but there's also Teofimo Lopez at 47.
Yeah, but Teofimo's like opposite of Haney. Like it's a good win and everything, but stylistically, Teo couldn't be more different than Devin Haney. You know, might as well get Norman then.
Ryan Garcia is at 47.
Okay, that's a good one.
Devin and Tiger, they're gonna need some serious security at ringside for that one.
Oh man, yeah.
Yo, but that's the perfect way to get back. It's in the ring. You get your get back in the ring.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, well, let's make the fight. Yeah. And exactly. You can build off of the fiasco that took place outside the ring to promote it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But I'm not opposed to that Dan Keyshawn Devin Haney fight. I would love to see that. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna even lie.
Given Keyshawn's amateur background, I don't think that he would be out of his depths by any means. And also the camp, the circle that he's found himself in, I just don't see Devin Haney presenting anything that he hasn't seen before.
I don't think he would overwhelm him or nothing. No, I think it would be a pretty good competitive fight between Devin and Keyshawn. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I don't know if he's ever overwhelmed very many people moving up north of 30. Well, I'll take that back. He definitely overwhelmed Prograis. I thought that.
Yeah, but the thing is, Keyshawn Davis is not Regis Prograis.
Right. Oh, for sure not.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
For sure not.
Devin Haney is not a thread the needle kind of guy. He's a tag you, reset kind of guy. So would he even feel comfortable enough to get to mount his offense, knowing that something is going to be coming right back?
Mm-hmm. And that's a great question because it didn't seem like Wu was very confident. And
no, he wasn't. He wasn't.
No. Looked like he was worrying about what was coming back too much to me.
Yeah, too much to me. Too much to me. Like, yo, fight. You came there to fight.
And when he hit Keyshawn, what round was that where he got him a little hurt and he just stopped? He didn't follow up.
That was round 5.
Yeah.
But it's difficult for him to follow up because if you look at his technique, oftentimes when he's throwing anything besides a jab, he breaks position.
He definitely does.
He falls in a lot. Whoa.
He was falling in and grabbing the whole dang fight. That was a grab. It was sloppy.
Yeah.
So it's hard to gather and it's hard to gain any momentum when you're stifling your own momentum. You land a shot and then you're tying up because you're too close to do anything else. You're smothering.
Right.
Unlike that guy in Irony's Avatar. Man, listen, the more I watch Xander Zayas, the more I like him.
Yeah. There's not much to not like, to be honest with you. He really, outside of maybe the knockout power, he literally has everything.
He's
inside
fantastic.
and outside the ring.
He is fantastic.
Yeah, his last
oh my
fight,
goodness!
I really enjoyed that.
Not only that, how he carries himself too. Like he got the smile. I love the fact that he ain't no knucklehead. He ain't no Edgar Berlanga. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, he's class.
Yeah,
he's class for sure. But I like the way that he goes about his business. He's one of those guys where if you watch him live, what makes him special may not jump off the screen. But when you watch him and you watch him attentively and you go back and you rewind and you see how he operates so deliberately, so meticulous, he is just so sound. Like I was rewatching the fight that he had with Slawa Spoma, Shawa, and we were just marveling at the activity, not just with his hands, but also with his feet.
Yeah.
You know, you always hear guys talk about shadow boxing and working the heavy bag, how you don't want to take pictures. Like when you watch Xander, that's Xander. Like he uses his legs so well. Like he'll throw 2-3 shots and then he's pivoting. He's off to the next position. Or he'll throw 2-3 shots and then it's like a little half step back. Oh, you're not doing nothing, and I'm going to poke at you again. As you pointed out, Irony, the only thing, and I don't even knock him for it because his punching power is solid. He's got a 53% KO ratio. So you can't have everything. If this guy had one punch knockout power, it would be damn near unfair.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he does everything else so well.
Yeah, if he had that kind of.
And you know another thing that I love about him that he's doing more and more. And listen, he almost gave me a heart attack. I'll openly admit that. But nevertheless, I do like the fact that he picks spots to fight. He picks certain spots in between some rounds. And in Abbas Barrow, it was one of the later rounds and one of the middle rounds that he specifically picked to fight, just to go ahead and just exchange with him. I love that about him because that makes you kind of unpredictable as well.
Yeah, it does. And then it also says to the other guy, hey, I'm willing to mix it up, so you got to stay honest.
Right.
You can't just press and do what you want to do, because we've seen Abbas Barrow be able to stalk and ultimately hurt Yoenis Tellis in the 12th round. And another thing that I really, really like about Xander Zayas, I know we were talking about Keyshawn Davis, but since he has Xander Zayas in his avatar, and I was literally just watching Xander Zayas this morning, another thing that I love is how attentive he is and how coachable he is.
Yeah.
Listening to his coach's instruction in the Abbas Barrow fight, where he was urging him, imploring him not to allow his back to hit the ropes. I started the fight over from the beginning, and I watched it, and I was literally counting how many times his back would touch the rope in a round. And it would be like once or twice. So that's phenomenal ring generalship. To be able to hold down the center of the ring and to use your legs and not be a cyclist. Like, he's got good lateral movement, but he also has really good perpetual movement where he can just jab and pivot, jab and step over. I love the way that he uses his lead hand as a converted orthodox fighter, because he's really a lefty. Like, he really uses his lead hand well. Like, he'll shoot an uppercut off the jab, he'll hook off the jab. Generally, he keeps the other hand up. When he's throwing his left hand, he has his right hand up. When he throws his right hand, he has his left hand up. There's always some sort of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
He's also becoming more balanced as far. And by the way, everything you just said tells you that he's taking this seriously, because you don't get all of this without putting in those hours in the gym. You just don't. Which also adds to him. But I think he's becoming also more balanced as far as he can fight almost, not in my opinion, I'll give him like a 65-35 as far as front foot as opposed to back foot. Like he's way better, well, pretty significantly better on his back foot, but I think he's getting more and more balanced and as he goes on, because I can see that he's working on his back foot too, because earlier, what's the fight that he had? I don't remember. It wasn't Teixeira. It was before Teixeira. He had a fight where he showed a lot of flaws on his back foot, and people can point to the Chino Perez fight a little bit if they want to. Chino Perez ain't no slouch, by the way, but I just feel like in the Abbas fight, he showed a lot more poise on his back foot as opposed to earlier in his career.
Oh yeah, and that's why I mentioned him being able to execute to a T. When Centeno is telling him, yo, do not let your back hit the ropes, keep it in the center, and he was able to do that for at least 95% of the fight. And I thought that was astounding. Like, genuinely, because how many fights have we seen where a coach will say something to a guy and it's kind of like in one ear and out the other?
Mm-hmm.
Chris Colbert comes to mind for me in the Rayo Valenzuela rematch.
Yeah.
And then you see how frustrated his coach was when he got clipped with the shot and knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on the exit, and you mentioned that, like, you got to hold that phone on the exit, man. Like, that is such a fundamental thing to do in boxing, because when you are on the exit, that's really, you don't have a possibility to really slip through the punches like that, because you're in motion. Right. You know, so you're not set as far, you can't go Philly shell and slip and bob and do all of this. No, when you're on the exit, you're the most vulnerable. So you gotta hold the phone. Otherwise, man, you gotta pray that the guy misses or something.
Yep. Little things like holding the phone or even angling out. That's another thing I like about Xander. Like, Xander will angle out. He's not always just pulling out in a straight line.
Yeah,
that's another one. Yeah.
He angles out. He angles out pretty well. Or like even when he's disengaging, he'll frame on the way out. Frame and angle, and he's holding the other. And then another thing that I like about him is that generally he doesn't let guys off the hook. And this is why I said, if he had one punch power, it would be unfair, because he's extremely good at filling the gaps. But back to Keyshawn. Keyshawn, I thought his performance was as solid as Wu allowed it to be, because there was just so much smothering, so much holding. I do think that Keyshawn possibly could have feinted him a little bit more, probably found an opening for the shot that he wanted, because I know he wanted to knock him out. Yeah. But with a guy like Wu, like I said before about his technique, if you can feint him and draw a reaction out of him, you could possibly get him to open up and put himself off balance and hang himself out to dry. So I probably would have liked to see a few more feints from Keyshawn, and then just angles with his legs. If you go back and you look at Keyshawn in the amateurs, in the Olympics, Keyshawn's got good legs. Now I will say this, as a pro, he's transitioned well as far as sitting down on the shots, because that's something that we don't always see from decorated amateurs. You got guys like Robson Conceição, which to this day, I can't stand to watch that man throw a right hand, because he doesn't turn it over. He slaps with it. But he was in the amateurs for a very, very, very long time. So it's likely just ingrained in him at this point to score, not to hurt, but to score. So it's like, let me just throw the right hand out there and not even turn it over. So Keyshawn, I feel like offensively, he's transitioned well as a pro. But if he can get to a point where he can utilize his legs and the angles similarly to the way he did in the amateurs, and combine that with the more sit down on the punches style of offense that he's cultivated as a pro, I think that would make him even more dangerous. Because aside from that, I think he's pretty damn complete. Like if you see the fight that he had with Pedraza, he showed a phenomenal inside game, even against Medueno. The way that he was framing him up, this guy, he knows how to manipulate the guard. He knows how to probe. He knows how to post. He knows how to frame.
He's crafty with it. Yeah.
Very, very much so. Very much so. I do like what he started doing with Wu in the back half of the fight. When Wu would try to smother him, he would push him off.
Mm-hmm.
That is such a lost art in boxing, it feels like.
Yeah, I noticed
Punch
that.
refusal. You don't have to let the guy hold you.
That's right.
Yeah, he wants to, because he doesn't want to be on the other end of that speed disparity, because that's what it was. Like Wu, he was outgunned as far as speed is concerned. Like every punch he threw, Keyshawn probably had 2 or 3 for him. So it's like, damn, I can't even get my offense on track. So I got to throw something, and then I got to try to hold. I got to throw something, and I got to try to hold. Sometimes he wouldn't even throw nothing. It's just, I'm going to fall in and I'm going to hold and make sure he can't hit me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was very, very determined. And I was watching the fight, and I was like laughing as I was watching, because I'm like, damn. Wu was proud enough to not allow Keyshawn the satisfaction of stopping him, but he wasn't too proud to go about it in the manner in which he did, which was to just hold and hold and hold. Now, Keyshawn, I didn't like the body slam because he could have got himself disqualified.
Yeah.
Now you mess around, you get your first L on the disqualification, a la Roy Jones.
Yeah, bro.
After what happened last time, too, that would have been bad.
I got to give you your props, bro. You really opened my eyes on the two fight. I mean, the first fight. My problem with Keyshawn is basically what's between his ears. Like he seemed to have some or maybe a lot of knucklehead in him. I don't have too much issues with Keyshawn inside the ring. I see him for what he is, which is a crafty, dangerous, mid to close range specialist that will not necessarily sleep you with one punch, but is an awesome finisher, great body work, and will just overwhelm you with his pressure and with pinpoint accuracy. You know, that's the problem. Is like okay, here's my thing with Keyshawn. I don't think he has proven himself, in my opinion, against boxers, to be honest with you.
Against who? Boxers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Jermaine Ortiz, Berinchick, okay, that's something. Yes, it is. But and Nahir Albright as well. Yeah, but I don't know. I haven't seen him dominate. Because he finished Jermaine. I mean, Berinchick was like half his size. That don't really count. But the Jermaine fight, he in the first half of that fight, bro, he had some issues, bro. If you really look at that fight, Jermaine wasn't doing that bad in the first half of that fight. Now, props to him. He finished him late and everything. And Jermaine ain't no slouch. Like Loma couldn't stop Ortillo. So Jermaine ain't no slouch. But
right.
I just, to me, haven't seen him prove himself against a solid technical boxer. That's just me.
Well, I think the guys you named, in addition to Anthony Yiggett, who was a decorated amateur, like Anthony Yiggett was really, really good in the amateurs. I believe the thing that held him back in the pros is the lack of artillery. I'm not saying if you've seen this fight that he had with Dennis Berinchick. Dennis Berinchick is a pretty crafty guy himself. His footwork, he's one of those dudes that'll do dirty things. But he's very sly. Like, for example, when he was fighting Vaquero, like Emmanuel Navarrete, when he was fighting him,
oh yeah, remember that one.
The way that he would smother and spin off and then throw a shot, or he would step on his foot, hit him, clinch, break the clinch before the ref would get there, then hit him with a shot. Kind of like what you would see from a guy like Andre Ward or B-Hop.
Exactly.
Like he knows how to initiate the clinch, break himself, and hit you off the break.
Yeah.
And rinse, wash, repeat. So it was like it's dirty boxing, but it's not illegal.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
No. It's
that gray area.
Following that line, yeah.
It's that gray area. And Keyshawn did awesome body work in that fight. Remember, he stopped Tim to the body, just like he stopped Jermaine Ortiz to the body. And once again, just going back to his amateur background, like watching him fighting the amateurs, he boxes pretty damn well against other boxers. So this is why I'm curious to see how Devin Haney is able to get his offense on track against him.
And thank you for bringing that up, because actually a pretty similar, well, given his resume, I would say Andy Cruz is probably the closest thing to Devin Haney, and if I'm not mistaken, he didn't do so well. I haven't seen the fights, but
they were nip and tuck.
Oh, okay.
They were nip and tuck. Very, very close. Extremely close. It's to the point where you're literally splitting hairs, where it could have went either way. I know people had the win total overall, and it sounds as though Keyshawn was just getting whitewashed, but no, it was extremely close. And that's why I mentioned the way that he used his legs in the amateurs. Like Keyshawn, I feel like if he had to resort to using his legs, he could, because I've seen him do it before. But again, with Devin Haney, with the jab being a large part of his arsenal, I have a hard time imagining that he'll just be able to just poke and prod and just jab his way to a victory versus Keyshawn. Like, he's gonna have to take some chances. And one thing that Keyshawn is really good at, to your point about the finishing, is this. He is a sharp shooter. Like, if you throw something and you leave an opening, he can thread the needle. He's not one of those dudes where you throw a shot at him and he's gonna take the quantum leap out of range and then reset. Nah, he's gonna be right there. He's gonna catch and shoot. He'll slip and shoot. He'll step over and shoot.
Yeah, he caught Wu with a few good nice combinations during that fight, man.
He will punch in between. Devin Haney, we haven't really seen him do that in years. The last fight that I've seen him do it consistently, and it's my favorite Devin Haney performance, the fight that he had against Antonio Moran.
Oh yeah.
But since then, or since he's been to 140, I think it might have been T. Hill who was talking about Devin since Regis Prograis. If you look, since he's been at 140, his output has dropped tremendously. Where most rounds he's throwing sub 25 punches at the most. And I don't think that Keyshawn is the guy that he can do that against. And I think that Keyshawn is just too damn sharp in the ring for that to be the case. To where Devin can land 3-4 jabs in a round, and that can be enough to carry him through the round. Like, nah, I just don't see that.
I love what you're saying, man. I do. And one other thing that I will add is because it's going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be pretty difficult for Keyshawn to time Devin, because Devin, yes, he does have a nice jab. He does. But he also does a lot of foot feints and jab feints. And whereas it's super difficult to time him with a pull counter or something like that, in my opinion. And I think Devin's hands are way faster than Keyshawn's. I could be wrong about that one, but I believe Devin's.
I don't see that.
You do?
And then the other thing too with Devin is, like, the thing with Devin that I noticed with him, like when me and T. Hill was watching him, is it's his technique. I think in terms of speed, his jab is certainly his best punch. But the rest of those punches that he throws, like his left hook in particular, it's got a nice little tell on it. that I don't think that he'd be able to land that with regularity on Keyshawn. Like, he loads up when he throws his left hook. It's a little dip to his left, and then he comes up with it. And I've seen him. If you've seen another thing too, is like when he throws his right hand, he doesn't throw it from range. He kind of squares up when he throws it, and then oftentimes, as a result, he tries to roll out to his right. So there's just little things with him. I wouldn't necessarily say flaws, but just like his technique.
Interesting, man.
And he's not super duper consistent with the feints like that, especially when he's on the back foot. If I'm Ron Sims and the rest of those guys in Keyshawn's corner, if Devin comes out and he's utilizing lateral movement similar to what he did in the Jose Ramirez fight, we just jab at his chest and look to stabilize him and just keep him defensive. Keep him defensive. Hell, even if it's a snooze fest and you can't go out there and stop him, keep him with his hands in his pockets. Because his last couple fights, he has not been they have not been active at all. Like, I'm about to look at how many punches he was throwing per round versus what's my man's name, Brian Norman Jr. But his pace is slowed down to a crawl, and I'm looking at the guys that he's doing it against. I don't think those guys are as sharp as Keyshawn. So it's like, if you're going in there with these guys and you fighting that slow of a pace, I just think he is too sound. If Key was like,
thinking, man.
if Key was a guy like a Teofimo Lopez, because I think that Tio is uber talented. You know what I'm saying? The talent jumps off the screen, but just in terms of small things like positioning, breaking of position when throwing certain punches, lunging in, leaping in, falling in, reaching and overcommitting, like Keyshawn, he doesn't have those bad habits to where I think that Devin would just be able to just poke and prod.
Yeah, Tio without a doubt hasn't taken full advantage of his physical attributes. Not even a little bit. He takes his athleticism for granted often. But I'm thinking about this Keyshawn Devin, man, because I might be right, man. He might be ready right now for it. I want to see the fight. I just believe that the proper time is after one, personally.
Now, let me ask you a question about Devin Haney as far as his resume is concerned. Who does he have on his resume that prepares him for a guy like Keyshawn Davis?
Yeah, I was just thinking that too.
I think Devin has fought a couple of similar. Devin has fought, to me, more similar styles to Keyshawn Davis than the other way around, in my opinion. And those guys are Jorge Linares and I can see the no here, but I'm going to say Norman. Definitely not Loma or Progre or anything like that. But to me, Linares and Norman are much more similar to Keyshawn than Berenchik and Jermaine are to Devin, in my opinion. Are they the same thing? No. But the answer is no. Nobody, right? Because Linares and Norman are not Keyshawn. They're not as crafty as Keyshawn is. They have the power. They probably have more power than Keyshawn, but they don't have the boxing IQ, and they can't work on the inside as crafty as Keyshawn can. So that's for damn sure, right? But man, it's a good question. The real answer is nobody. I just think that Devin has fought a little more similar styles to Keyshawn than the other way around. But I could be wrong, man. This is interesting.
And those guys are similar in size too. Both of those guys around 5'9", 70-inch reach.
Similar, yeah. Reach, everything is similar. They both say they want it. Get it next.
That's what I say. Make it happen.
The build up alone will be so awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
Devin's gonna have his group. Keyshawn's gonna have his group. I'll be shocked if nothing happens before the fight. But sign me up, man. Sign me up. I want to see the fight. Trust me. They make the fight tomorrow. I'm watching. Man, trust and believe that. I wanna watch Keyshawn and Devin much more than I want to watch Shakur and Devin, especially now.
Yeah, I'd rather see Keyshawn and Devin too right now. Yeah.
And I mean, especially after what Bill was saying.
Yeah.
In regards to the competitive nature of the sparring.
Mm-hmm.
If you got anything off on Shakur, it was a good day.
Yep.
When your dad and your lead coach is making those type of comments,
yeah,
it only leads me to believe that it wasn't all too competitive.
Mm-mm. It wasn't good. No.
And Shakur Stevenson is one of those guys, you know, he's got a reputation fighting guys that he sparred before. It's like, if Shakur sparred you, he feels comfortable. And I think it would be one of those fights where I just think that Devin would struggle mightily versus him, especially with that open stance. Statistically, his jab hasn't been, you know, it hasn't carried versus southpaws. I'd probably say the best fight that I've seen, like versus southpaw, as far as his jab is concerned, maybe Regis Prograis.
Yeah.
But against Loma, it wasn't really established too much. He did some good work with the right hand to the body though in that fight. I will say that. His right hand to the body was beautiful. But he couldn't really establish his jab like that, you know, just by virtue of both lead hands somewhat phasing each other out. And then even if you look at the fight with what's my man's name, the little guy, Jojo Diaz.
Oh yeah,
Jojo Diaz. Devin Haney statistically was like landing one jab per round or something like that. Jojo did a really good job of nullifying his jab and also taking advantage of those moments where Devin would try to probe. You just leave his lead hand extended and Jojo would come with something right down the middle. Of course, we know about the moment versus Lomachenko. It's like he knows what I'm gonna do. He's figuring me out.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that Shakur is just too sharp, and he's not going to give him what Devin needs.
Yeah,
he's not going to give him anything he needs.
Early in that one.
I just can't see that being an exciting fight. Now, Keyshawn, on the other hand, his disposition is destruction. That's one thing I do like about him. He's got a very, very nasty disposition in the ring. When he fights, you can tell he's looking to inflict some damage. Now, whether or not he gets the stoppage, that's a different story. But you know, when he goes in there, he's looking to get it. And then once he gets momentum, if he does have a guy hurt, he will go for the finish.
Mm-hmm.
So I think just by virtue of that, a fight between Devin and Keyshawn would likely be more entertaining. But I do think a fight with Devin and Shakur would be intriguing. It's one of those fights where it's it's like a suspense or a psychological thriller.
Yeah, it's gonna be a chess match for sure. More than anything, right? It's gonna be like the modern day Leonard versus Benitez type fight, if you wanna put an analogy to it.
I think Sean and Devin might be more like Benitez and Shakur.
I could see that. Because Ray Leonard is certainly more of like a hybrid. You know what I mean? Like he could box, but he's another guy with a nasty disposition. What is KO ratio? Like 75, 78, something like that. So he's another one of those guys where he can box, but if he gets you hurt, he's gonna get you up out of there. Or if he has to use his legs, he can use his legs. If a fight will break out.
Yeah, that was literally the difference maker in that fight. That the fact that Leonard had more pop than Benitez had. You know, he was able to put him on the ground and everything.
He didn't get until the 15th though. Already.
Oh yeah. No, Benitez. Listen, people. Benitez has to be like the most underrated fighter in history because I know I never saw anybody else fight Tommy Hearns on the ropes and live to tell the story. like nobody. And listen, he almost got put out of there. He got a knockdown against him. He did get a knockdown against Hearns and what have you. But without a doubt. And the thing is that how in God's name do you fight Tommy Hearns on the ropes? Like nobody does that.
No.
This guy did it. So.
That's a bad place to be against Thomas Hearns.
Oh, serious.
Exactly.
Damn.
Oh my goodness! Like the moment you said that, I got PSTD just thinking about how Duran got slept on the ropes like that. That's the nastiest right hand I've ever seen. Like single shot.
And how quickly he throws that thing. Like, come on, man. Yeah. Exactly. And this guy, that should tell you that right there, if nothing else, the youngest champion of all time, a lot of more things. But that right there alone should give you just a glimpse of how good this guy was, man.
Yeah. Oh. He beat Antonio Cervantes to win the title, remember?
Yeah, 17, not even out of high school yet. And Antonio Cervantes, if anybody don't know, Antonio Cervantes had knockout of the year a couple of times. That's how dangerous he was.
Yeah. Benitez was 17, right?
17 years old, man. How about that? That's the real fifth king. With all due respect to Iran Barkley, I know they made a documentary. The fifth. Listen, Iran gets 6. You get 6. I ain't got no problem with the blade. But the fifth king is Benitez. El Radar. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Think about his nickname. The how do you say that? Radar. The radar. Is it? Yeah. Like think about a nickname like that, bro. Like.
Yeah. Sugar Ray said nobody was that hard to hit. Never fought nobody that was that hard to hit before. Yeah. As Benitez.
His defense, his upper body movement is oh my goodness. Textbook.
Crazy. Yeah. Like he had a radar,
Yeah, he can see.
Before they started coming,
does.
Yeah.
That's the real as far as I'm concerned, and again, I haven't seen Carlos Ortiz. I gotta get to it, but that to me is the best Puerto Rican fighter of all time.
You got Benitez #1.
From a pugilistic standpoint, it's not even close.
Yeah.
Like for real, the closest one is probably Calderon or Camacho. And Camacho doesn't fit the bill because Camacho had the hand speed and the footwork, but he didn't have no defense. Like his hand speed and footwork were solely for offensive purposes. He didn't have that slickness on the defensive end for whatever reason, as opposed to like a Calderon and Benitez and so on. So,
yeah.
Benitez, his footwork was so damn good. He had a 3-dimensional defense too. That's another thing. 3-dimensional defense, like legs, the ability to catch shots, parry shots, and then also the head movement to go along with it. Because you got some guys, like my favorite fighter of all time is James Toney. James Toney, defensively, from the waist up, phenomenal.
Yeah.
But what gave him trouble against guys like Roy Jones was that he didn't really use his legs like that. You could only slip but so many shots. After a certain point, you got to get the hell off the line.
Right.
Yeah. Use those legs. You know what I'm saying? Because positioning and range, that's the best line of defense. Because you got some guys, shit, you got your hands up, you can still get hit. But the guy can't hit you if you change the position or if you're out of range altogether or you're too close.
Yeah.
Like Pernell Whitaker is a perfect example of what you're saying, because Pernell Whitaker will slip punches right in front of you, but will also know when to get the heck out of the way.
Yeah. Right.
Like that would be the example that I would put. Like Pernell Whitaker to me had that layer that James lights out Tony, and I love that, man. I love what's not to love, right? But that to me was so key, because if James Toney could have just added a pendulum type of footwork or something like that, he would have been just impossible to deal with, man. I'm telling you, like, oh my goodness. Yeah, I would use Pernell's analogy when it comes to Benitez, because both had that many layers just on defense alone. Yep. They had such a deep toolbox of things that they could do. They catch and shoot. I would tell you, in my opinion, both Benitez and Whitaker prefer the catch and shoot as opposed to anything else. But they could. Oh man, what can't they do on the defensive end? Nothing. They're capable.
Was the guy nicknamed Untouchable too, Nicolino Loesch.
Oh yeah, from back in the day.
His nickname was the Untouchable.
Yeah, that dude. Yeah, and Willie Pep as well. Like the original double OGs of defense is Loesch and Willie Pep.
Yeah, I like watching Loesch fight.
Hands down.
That's the thing about them damn Argentinians is like they're either smooth as hell or they got a lot of power.
Yeah, or either bangers or like the next big thing. Like
I was a big fan of Sergio Martinez. I loved his footwork.
Me
too,
my goodness. And I'm not high on. Listen, my father hated Carlos Monzon, but I because the thing is with Monzon. I mean, Monzon. Most of his resume, listen, Emil Griffith, Nino Benvenuti, all of that, Mantequilla Nápoles, all of that. Yeah. But 90% of those dudes were so much smaller than him. And you look at Carlos Monzon, he looks like a freaking rugby player, bro. He's built like a brick house, bro. Like a small Primo Carnera almost. Like he was so physically imposing.
Yeah.
Like Nino Benvenuti and Emil Griffith and Rodrigo Valdez and all those dudes were 10 times better than him in his skills. But man, he was just smother you and just crush you like a grape.
Yeah, he
didn't have a lot to him, Monzon, but he had a few things that was enough for him, you know.
Yeah, he was a monster.
What's up?
What's up, bro?
What's up, man?
What's going on? What up, man? No time, no talk.
Yes, sir. I thought about you a couple weekends ago, man, with Zotto for Benavidez.
Oh yeah. Hopefully, all good.
No, it was certainly all good. Cause listen, I ain't gonna lie, that shit kind of hurt my feelings, man. Seeing that happen with Zotto, because I think Zotto is so underrated. I feel
I agree.
I feel like that one fight that he had with Dimitri Bivol is kind of put a black eye on people's perspective of him.
It did. Yeah.
But you know, part of the problem with Zurdo, and this is an interesting conversation, because I'm with you, but I'm also not with you on that one. That hits underrated, because he got over 50 wins, bro. That same as Munguia, like that's a padded up record up to the gills, bro. Like he doesn't have Joe Smith Jr., Dorticos,
Vlasov,
CBS. What's that, Puro?
Vlasov.
Yes.
Arsen Golomiri, I thought that was a good win for him too. That dude was like 27-0, and he was a really decorated amateur.
The guy that ruled 160 for a cool minute.
He got a dub over Jesse Hart.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good
Two
one.
of them, and Jesse Hart was undefeated when they fought the first time.
The German Armenian that was running 160 for a cool minute.
I think he's got some solid wins.
What's his name? What's his name, man? The guy I'm thinking of. He's Armenian, but he's out of Germany.
Who's that?
It's not Felix Stewart.
No, it's the guy that fought with broken jaw versus the Colombian and then ended up knocking him out.
Edison Miranda.
Yeah, Miranda. Like Miranda was whooping his ass, broke his jaw, but then he knocked Miranda out.
It's not Arthur Abraham, is it?
Arthur Abraham. He's got a win over Arthur Abraham.
Yeah, that was at 168.
No, he's got a good resume. Man.
Yeah, he's got a solid resume.
No, I think he's definitely underrated, but I've been saying it for years. And he has a horrible coach. Julian Chua is about as worst a coach we got in boxing right now, in my humble opinion. No shade. You know, like I wish I'd be in his position. You know, he's obviously coached champions, but yeah, that guy's not a good coach.
His performance against Chris Billum-Smith was awesome, but
yes,
I don't know, man. I guess I gotta think about this. I gotta really look at his resume and everything because I'm kind of like in between with Zurdo. Like I got reasons to believe that he's underrated because obviously he only lost to A-tier fighters, 2 of them, but he doesn't have, and I could be wrong about this because I just said that the CBS performance was awesome, but he doesn't have like a performance that just jumps out of your head, like when you think about Benavides and Opetaya and Bivol and Beterbiev, you can think of a great performance right off the top of your head with all those fighters. But with Zurdo, I don't know if you can do that.
I could think of 3.
What?
I could think of 3.
What?
I said I can think of 3 for
really
Zurdo.
good, but I can't really think of any. I can't really think of any from him where I was just like, "Yo, that was absolutely sensational." Yeah, I just felt like it was just good boxing.
I can.
And I'm talking about with Dimitri Bivol.
What's the 3? What happened? Oh, the 3 for me is Vlasov, the guy, what's his name, Goulamirian, and
Goulamirian fight.
And I would say the third one was the second Jesse Hart.
Okay. On Bivol, I would tell you Canelo just right off the bat, Malik Senat, and the second Beterbiev fight. I don't even have to bring up 2.
Malik Senat was.
Yeah, Bivol doesn't. None of them jump off the page at me. I ain't gonna lie.
But I think he's exceptional though.
Oh yeah, no,
yeah,
of course. I mean,
look, everybody who's exceptional, they're not gonna put forth electrifying performances.
Yeah, to beat the fighters he's beat, like obviously he's an elite champion. It's just
Damn
it's a style. It's a style. Yeah. He's there to outpoint you. He's not gonna make it pretty ever.
Yeah.
He's just gonna do what it takes to win. That's the style.
I'm not saying that you got to have a KO of the year. I'm saying like dominate somebody like he dominated Canelo, for example.
But he didn't dominate Canelo. That's the thing.
He for sure did.
No, he didn't. I mean, winning by a round isn't domination.
I mean, listen. According to the judges,
that's all. That's the only one that matters. Irony. That's the only one that matters.
Right, but according to the judges, remember Canelo had a draw against him. So if you want to go
against who?
Against Mayweather.
Yeah, but I mean, like one out of like the whole lot. Yeah.
You know, as well as I do, that one.
Usually the judges are spot on.
Well, I'll disagree with that, but I mean,
obviously the egregious ones. Obviously, I mean, there's no debating the egregious ones, but the ones that are close are just that close.
Yeah, but you're not gonna tell me that was no 7-5 fight, the Bivol and Canelo.
It was. Most definitely was.
Okay.
It was. I mean, like that's what it was in reality. That's what it was in my opinion. I know obviously opinions differ between like different people, but at the end of the day, the judges saw what they saw. I mean, like literally, like all 3 agreed. I mean, it's not very what's controversial, the decision.
No, they had to give it to the man. I mean, my goodness, right? Like,
I mean, they don't have to give it to anyone. I mean, at the end of the day, like, okay, one of them, it's like the Mayweather one, right? Like Mayweather, obliterated Canelo on the other cards. Obviously, the card was the draw was absurd. But that's the thing. In that particular fight, it was one absurd card. And in this particular fight, it was all three judges agreed with what they saw.
Right. That was the most obvious 12-0 fight I've ever seen in my life.
But it wasn't obvious 12-0 fight. The judges saw it 7-5. Like none of them saw even 8-4.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I mean, I just I don't. This is just me talking, right? I'll give you what I think of the fight, right? Like the judges can say what they want and everything, and we can debate, but honestly, bro, like I saw 12-0 against Mayweather, and I saw at least 9-3 against Bivol.
And like I said, that's what you saw, but the judges, all three of them saw 7-5. I saw 7-5.
Well, I mean, I could be wrong about Zurdo. You know, I'll take a look at his resume. I'll take a look at the fights that you mentioned, and the Jesse Hart especially.
He's got some qualities that I really like.
I'm kind of surprised you didn't say Chris Billum-Smith, because that to me was an awesome performance.
I like that fight too, but my favorite Zotto fight personally is the Gula-Marian fight. That's my favorite one.
Okay.
Oh, that was a good one. But the Chris Billum-Smith, I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead, my bad.
No, I like the Chris Billum-Smith one too, because again, you know, that fight to me, it highlighted what I really like about Zotto. I think Zotto's got some underrated legs, man. I wish he used them more frequently, because it pisses me off when he backs out and puts himself on the ropes. When he's in the center of the ring, I feel like that's when he's at his best, personally. I'm not too crazy about him when he's coming forward, because one thing I noticed in the fight that he had with Jesse Hart in particular was that if you get him to come forward, you can make him reach. Not necessarily because he's got bad technique, but he's got slow feet, so closing the gap. But despite the fact that his feet are slow, I still feel like they're fairly educated. And like the Chris Billum-Smith fight and the fight against Gula-Marian, the way that he was stepping around and pivoting, even the spots versus Dimitri Bivol, there was some moments where I was like, okay, Zotto, like, why the hell don't you do that more frequently? But he does have those moments where it's like if you attack him on a straight line, he'll pull out and he'll just he'll retreat. Well, I feel like he should just angle off. But maybe that's due to coaching, as you were saying with Julian Chua, because he's got some quality for sure. Like,
because I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say I was watching him just excessively leading up to the David Benavidez fight just to see what he could present to him. And I'm like, damn, like Zotto's, he's got some things with him that don't get mentioned.
Yeah, no, that's facts. And in the two losses that he has is bad game planning, bro. And then what you see on of his other fights where he's like, you know, retreats to the ropes and stuff like that. That's all bad game plan, bro. Like Zurdo, like Julian Chua is not Zurdo's original coach. Zurdo's original coach was his coach out of Mazatlan, but he died. That's where he got his style from. All those angles and stuff like that was not taught by Julian Chua.
Wasn't a Regis program with Julius Chua as well? Well, Julian Chua as well? Yeah.
Case in point, what's the other Mexican out of California? Huge promise, but horrendous coaching. We just knocked them out.
Not Velasquez, is it?
No. He fought fight of the year versus Baranchik, I believe, or Bohachuk, or he beat Jose Ramirez in my opinion, but they robbed him.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Zepeda.
Yeah, he ruined Zepeda.
Jose Zepeda.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why people like have so much confidence in Chua, you know. And I give Malik Scott a pass because he's a rookie. Like I don't know why he went to Julian Chua to learn his craft, but hey, man, each their own.
Such seems to be the case, though. You got a couple of these guys who they become renowned, but behind the scenes they got this reputation of being faulty coaches. Like
Yeah. I don't know.
sure,
Yeah.
and what's my man's name?
Hmm.
Guy that's always whispering in the corner. K Karoma.
I like Karoma. I think he's a bit. I think we would say he's overrated. He actually flies under the radar, but I like him. He's just, he's like not been in the game a long time too, but I like him.
I've seen several fighters, or heard several fighters, say things about him on social media, like Troy Isley, basically saying two other fighters, do not work with that dude. He gonna get you hurt. Because there's certain practices that he has in the gym, like the tire drill and all that stuff.
Well, you gotta learn from inside fighting, bro. Can't learn by saying it. This is what you gotta do. This, you gotta learn in practice. That's why sparring's so important.
For sure, but I mean, give the guy some instruction. Don't just stick your foot in the tire and tee off on each other.
Yeah, but you also got to be willing to. You got to buy in. You got to be. You got to buy into the instruction. I could see where like fighters nowadays will be like, "Why am I doing this?"
Because I've heard some things like, he'll tell you what to do, but not tell you why you're doing it. Hey, stick your foot in this tire and with this other guy and just throw punches. It's like, no, like teach these guys how to work on the inside from shoulder to shoulder, how to frame and use the forearms and all that stuff, what punches to throw when, how to get.
I don't think they're capable. And to be honest, I don't think the coaches nowadays are capable.
Yeah, I feel like there's certainly a missing link.
They're just not. They're just, they're like, if you or me, I'm not trying to like dog me or you, but if you or me just decided to coach, some professional fighters, like right now, just let's go.
Teddy says it all the time. Anybody can throw a towel over their shoulder and call themselves a coach nowadays.
Think we were different coaches that was boxers before make any kind of big difference in it. As for the why of doing things, because they was actually in there doing it.
And that's a major key. The why is the most important.
Yeah, the why. The how, really.
Yeah, I mean, the how is certainly important, for sure. But
I mean, the most important in my opinion.
It's important, but I would certainly put the why. That's paramount.
Yeah, but you can't get to the why without the how, in my opinion.
No, certainly not. Certainly not. But if
I'm saying in terms of,
this is true.
You know what I mean? But it works for certain fighters, especially nowadays, where they like, it's always been clever matchmaking, like it's an art to building a fighter. Yep. Giving him the right fights, so to develop all the aspects of his game. But nowadays they take it too far.
Yeah, it seems like developmental matchmaking, it takes a backseat to profile building.
Facts.
So now we got to get this guy to a certain record and make him look like a monster.
Yeah.
All while masking his deficiencies.
Yep.
We know this guy is a damn stiff and he can't move to his right. So we're going to put him in there with guys that won't push him to do the things that he's uncomfortable with.
Or straight reactionary. Like I feel like even the guys that they overhype, they're just like, they're in there and they're just in there reacting to what they see, Right. And then they're praised for like Keyshawn. Keyshawn, to me, that whole fight was just reacting to what Nair was doing, as was Nair.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah, that's why I said I felt like Keyshawn. My criticism of him was utilize some more feints, because a guy like Nair Albright, as scrappy as he is, As awkward as people say he is, I don't necessarily find him to be too awkward. Because to me, awkward is doing things that are offbeat and quirky. When I look at Nair Albright, there's just certain aspects of his game where I'm just like, the technique just isn't that good. You know what I mean? Like, he throws his right hand, he falls in damn near every time he throws it. So if I'm in Keyshawn's corner, I'm telling him like, yo, feign him and see if you can bait that out of him, and he'll hang himself out to dry.
But he did that though. I noticed that, like not like extremely well, but he did that, and a lot of times in the fight, he didn't make him pay for it.
Hey, it's got to be there. Like, listen, when you do this, you influence him to do that, and this has to follow immediately. Like,
yep,
put this on him.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. But that's the thing about fighting a guy that, like, literally, like, it's your second time fighting him, especially a guy that, in my opinion, had so much success in the first fight. Because I thought Nair won the first one.
I rewatched it a couple weeks ago. I had Keyshawn winning. But one thing I will say that I liked about Nair in the first fight is there were a couple of moments where Keyshawn would like try to mount the attack. Like, for example, in the 8th round when he caught Keyshawn with that right hand, Keyshawn was posting to line him up for a right hand, but Keyshawn, when he went to throw his, he didn't get his head off the line. He stayed right there. And it was like the most perplexing thing to me, because it's like, yo, if you're controlling the guy's lead hand, you should be ready for that right hand to come.
Right.
But it seemed like that was missing. Either he got a little arrogant in the moment and thought that he was just in full control, and the guy had nothing to offer. Because Albright is one of those guys that is kind of sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
And we seen in the 5th round of the rematch, he landed that sneaky right hand, and the knee almost touched. So with a dude like that, like, you got to be as on point as possible, because he'll do something seemingly at random. But if you can get him to react to you, then now you're in control.
I hear you, and which is why I thought Keyshawn fought like shit. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't like how I fought at all.
Who do you want to see Norman next?
Keyshawn.
Keyshawn.
Top Rank ain't making that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Tiger.
They should. They probably will.
Tiger Johnson.
We're gonna get Norman another easy fight first.
I mean, but like the fight he just had was like, in my opinion, like, good for him that he came back on the winning column, but it was pointless.
Yeah.
They're
I mean, like,
gonna give him another one like that. I don't see Keyshawn. What about Keyshawn and Devin Perro? We was talking about that. What do you think about that one? Keyshawn and Devin.
Not if he's going to Zuffa like they're saying.
Okay.
I think that's out of the question. And I actually think the play is Norman and Keyshawn. I think that's what they're gonna end up making.
You think so? Wow.
Yeah, because they ain't gonna find any of the other welterweights that exist in boxing. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, like the modus operandi for these fighters nowadays.
Yeah. Wow.
You got Rolly sitting there. I mean, easy time.
I can't see Top Rank just knocking one of their guys off the board right now. Because Keyshawn, he hasn't gotten to 147 yet. He'll probably be there soon. But Brian Norman Jr., right now, he's 5th in the WBC. Brian Norman Jr. is 6th in the WBO, 7th in the WBA, and he's top 10 in the IBF.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is like they put Keyshawn in every position to succeed, and he's done dumb shit, himself missing weight and stuff like that, and when he doesn't look good, he can't sell at his hometown. I mean, at one point they're gonna cut their losses.
I think Bob is really invested in him. Because even having this fight again at the Scope Arena, despite the fallout last time.
Yeah, that says something right there. Yeah.
Let me ask Anton, because I asked you, Cass, but Anton Puro, what do you think about the Egypt card? Because I kind of like it. I mean, I'm not expecting to have 5 great fights, but I think we're going to have at least 2 great fights, particularly the heavyweights and the Ilyasov and Kadyrov fight. But what do you guys think?
Egypt. Wow.
So what? So the heavyweight fight is which one?
Usyk and Rico. Oh,
Okay.
no, I'm sorry.
We got Frank Sanchez
Torres
and
Sanchez,
Richard Torres Jr.
Yeah, that's the one I'm referring to.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in that one.
Frank Sanchez and Richard Torres. Ooh.
Yeah, definitely interested in that one. Ilyasov and Kadyrov. Well, thank you.
What about well, I mean, Hamza Shiraz is fighting this guy.
I like
Begic.
Shiraz was who?
Alan Begic is his name. I think he's from Germany.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Definitely looking forward to that one.
Torres and Sanchez. Usyk. Not too bad.
A couple good fights. Other than that, the card's shit. But honestly,
I just hope Frank Sanchez doesn't show up with a knee brace again.
Oh yeah.
He's definitely gonna show up with that. He just hopefully doesn't fight like a man that in need of a knee brace.
Exactly.
Let the fans go or whatever. But yeah, for me the best thing that could happen is Verhoeven knockout, Catterall knockout, and a really good fight versus Torres and the other cat and the Shiraz guys.
I think Torres and Sanchez is going to be an ugly fight.
Yeah.
Me too.
Richard Torres, most of his fights are ugly though.
Yeah, exactly.
That's that. Yeah.
But I don't mind though, because I like how scrappy he is. He's got some talent though, man. I just wish he would get with somebody that would be able to harness what he has.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that
who's his coach right now? Sorry. Go ahead, man.
I don't know who his coach is, but he's got good upper body movement. He's pretty damn explosive, but he just looks so sloppy. Like somebody can
raw.
Not necessarily slow him down. That's why I use the word harness. Like they could harness him.
Like maybe make him into like a peekaboo type fighter.
Yes, I'm thinking like a Joe Frazier type of guy.
Yeah, because to be honest with you, he has a significant size and reach disadvantage already against most people. So you need to get the most out of that head movement, and he's got the power. We all know this, right? So yeah, I'm with you. I think the peekaboo is the way to go with him.
Yeah, sure. I agree with that. Yeah.
Because as constituted, I remember seeing him get stretched in the Olympics. Remember when he fought against
Jalalov? I showed
that right hand. Oh my goodness!
I showed that to you, Puro. You remember that?
He's a good boxer, though. He's a good boxer.
Yeah,
he is. But that's what I'm saying with Torres. I think he's got enough ability to where he could be really dynamic. It's just he needs the right coach to really hone in on his style.
Yep.
To where he can be able to get his work off and not smother, because he did a really good job of closing the gap versus the big Italian dude, Guido Vianella.
Yeah.
He did a really good job of closing the gap, but when he got there, he was smothering himself. He couldn't get his work off.
Yeah. No, he's still a rook. Still green.
Now,
but I like Richard Torres. I like how he carries himself. Very spunky guy.
No, I like him. I like
Sanchez. If I'm Torres, I'm going right back to his body after seeing him get stopped to the body versus Aggie Caballero. I'm going right back to his body.
Oh yeah.
Most definitely. You should get Manny Robles.
Yep.
I love that guy. That's one of the top trainers today, in my opinion, for sure. Manny Robles, I can't say enough great things about him. What was I gonna say? Oh, who do you want to see the winner of that fight with Itama? Torres Sanchez.
Yeah, Itama would be nice. Caballero.
Yeah.
Dubois.
The word is that Itama.
Any of the top 10.
Because Because the thing is that what I heard was that Itama was already in talks to fight Hrgovic, which I think is not such a bad idea.
Not a bad idea at all.
But if Itama's not on the table, whoever wins this fight, in my opinion, should get either Parker or Ajagba or what's the name that I'm missing here?
Nobody even mentions Caballero.
No, because Caballero to me deserves no less than Usyk or Dubois, in my opinion.
You ain't gonna get him though.
Right now.
They don't even mention him.
They ain't gonna get him.
Yeah.
You know, so he should
He's
just like take Usyk out of his mind and just keep fighting.
I mean, he's the Shakram Giyasov of the division, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he wasn't born in Britain or in Eastern Europe, so he's pretty much like the odd man out here.
Man, he's not the odd man out. Just like literally, like Usyk is on his retirement tour. He's probably not gonna get to fight him. Just forget about him. Forget about him. Just forget he exists in the division and keep going.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I said Dubois. You know, if you don't get Usyk because he decides to retire or whatever the case may be, Dubois is a pretty good fight in my opinion.
Yeah, if you can get Dubois, most definitely. But if you can't get Dubois, I mean, like no top 10 contender should be like out of the question.
You know, I like what you said, Puro. I think if you're Caballero, right, and you don't get Usyk and you don't even get Dubois, then the logical to me would be, because he said that he will never fight Tyson Fury because he considers him his brother or whatever the case may be. So that's up for question. So to me, it would be, and AJ's going to fight Fury, so forget about that. So to me, the logical would be, if not Usyk or Dubois, then the winner of this fight, right? Because anything.
Or Moses Tama is out there.
Yeah, no, I'm saying if Moses goes out there and fights Hrgovic, to me, Caballero, if he doesn't get none of the top two guys, then get the winner of this fight will give you the momentum, you know, the actual. Because Parker to me is kind of a step down at this point. You know,
but still, I mean, if Parker's still around, you know, like Parker's a good fighter.
Yeah, that's
he has a bit left. He already knocked out the Zhang guy, so like I was like, even if he wasn't like saying that goofy stuff about I won't fight my brother or whatever, you know, Tyson Fury, AJ, they're out the door, you know.
Because the problem with Caballero, if you really look at his resume, he hasn't really beaten a big name. With
the
all
big names won't get there with him.
They're retiring. The big names are the ones that are out there right now. Torres is a big name for him right now.
Exactly, Puro. Exactly. That's my point. Like, if you can beat a Torres coming off of a knocking out Sanchez, that to me would make you, be on reasonable doubt. Legit. Because Makhmudov is not really that big of a win, especially in hindsight, right? And Sanchez was with a knee brace, and Zile San was like 65 years old.
But all big wins though. I mean, we can't diminish the wins,
But like Dubois has AJ. You see what I mean? Like Dubois has AJ to hang his hat on. Like you need something like that for people to be like, okay,
you gotta fight him though, Arnie.
I mean, he's not gonna get AJ though. That's the thing. Like he's not.
They won't. They're scared of him.
Yeah.
I don't even think they're scared of him. They're just out the door. I mean, they're not.
Yeah.
Unless AJ has a title, then he's live. But he doesn't have a title.
Why would Dubois fight it?
Dubois has a title, so he's in play. All the top contenders are in play. Like literally, like these fighters need to stop like trying to get these like big names. Like make yourself a big name by like literally beating everybody.
Torres' best attribute. The best attribute of Torres, in my opinion, is his explosiveness, and the fact that I'm just do hypothetical here. Let's say Torres gets past Sanchez, right? Just for the sake of this conversation. That to me, that win, if Caballero can beat Torres at this point in time, that to me would be head and shoulders above any other win he's had, because Makhmudov was not that good. Let's be honest here. Frank Sanchez, it is what it is. It's not his fault.
Torres in there with Caballero now, though, or Itama. Not it. No, I doubt it.
Yeah, because I think Itama's going to end up fighting Hrgovic. That's why I'm not mentioning Itama that much.
Yeah, but I don't agree that it'll be bigger than any win that he's had. I mean, come on now.
I mean,
Torres is up and coming and a good contender, but I mean, like he's already big. You know, like what's his name? The Chinese guy Zhang and the other guy Frank Sanchez. You know, Frank Sanchez is no slouch.
Could be. You might be right. That's why I prefer him fighting Dubois, man. Like that will make you undeniable. If you can fight Dubois and beat him,
that would be the one I would want.
That would be beyond the shot. Yeah, beyond the reasonable doubt, you're the man.
That would be a good one.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I think beyond a reasonable doubt is just to fight all of them.
Yeah.
Like literally, Dubois is not available. Like who's the next available? Fight him. Beat him.
House, man.
You know, like I mean, like literally, like all the top guys they're out the door.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. The top guys, like the four-headed monster of Usyk, Fury, AJ, and Wilder, they're one at most 2 fights. That's it.
And why fight Wilder? Wilder, I mean, like literally.
That's not going to do anything for you. Yeah, that's not going to do anything for you. To be honest with you.
No, yeah, for sure.
But hey, it is interesting, bro. The heavyweight landscape, it's interesting. I mean, we don't have a Mike Tyson or a Muhammad Ali or a Marciano in there, but we have a bunch of really good fighters. There's a whole bunch of pretty good to very good fighters. Because I didn't even mention F.A. Ajagba, which I like as well.
Yeah. But Frank Sanchez cooked, you know?
I mean, he had issues with Dianello. He had issues with Bacoli. It is what... And what in God's name is Martin Bacoli doing, man?
Do you think he's retired?
That's a good
question.
Like
at the very least, bro, because I haven't heard a peep out of that man. And when he beat Anderson, I was high on that man. I was like, this guy is the real deal. And then he showed up looking like a whale against Parker.
That Parker fight on short notice like that.
Yeah, that was like a 5-hour notice.
That was the end of it so far.
Yeah, but you know what? That F.A. Ajagba fight was not so good, man. I had it a draw. He did well, but he looked out of shape, man. Like,
he looked like a whale, huh? Wow.
I'm telling you, man. Like,
wow.
It was like a freaking
I don't know what's up with him. I thought it at the
bro in the Anderson fight, he was bouncing and moving, and I was like, oh man, it's gonna be very hard to deal with this guy, and then he just never showed that again.
Yeah.
I don't get
Where's Anderson? Big baby
Anderson. He pulled out of the. He was about to fight in the. What was it? What's this one or the one before that? He was supposed to fight in that undercard, and then he pulled out.
Okay.
His opponent pulled out. I can't remember. But he's in the comeback trail. You know, I think he picked up a win or maybe 2 of them after the.
Remember, he said he was only going to fight 3 years. That 3 years is about up, ain't it?
Yeah, that's not your guy. If you're American, that's not your guy. You better bet on Edwards or I can't remember the other guy. Yeah, Anderson, unfortunately, as talented as he was pretty talented. You know, he just didn't have. You know, he said it to Roy on camera. You know, Jared don't want it, this and that. Oh man, I mean,
said he wanted to make a certain amount of money, and he was gone.
Yeah, this is not like basketball or any other sport. Like if you're not gonna take this seriously, bro, especially at heavyweight, oh man.
Yeah.
I think he took it seriously, Irony and Cass and Ant, but he just wasn't that good. No, I mean it is what it is.
Could be too, yeah.
You know, it happens. Not everybody's gonna be a killer like they paint him out to be.
Right.
You know, maybe if it incorporates some elbows in there, you know, he might win some more fights.
Yeah. Hero is tough. Yeah.
He's talking about the
judge.
No, it's what it is. I mean, you know, Ray Charles could see it.
I'm not, I always say Stevie Wonder, but yeah. Listen, Benavidez, now Yaino is the number 1 boxer today. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But
Anyway, in front of Usyk right now? Is Usyk still number one?
Yeah,
Or
I mean,
okay.
Usyk's probably number one. I just think that you can't deny Inoue at this point, bro. He's the most active. He just fought a killer. I take a lot of your level of opposition. I take a lot out of that. I don't know if that fits the bill for the pound for pound or not, but my criteria, I look a lot of your level of opposition and the fact that David Benavidez just fought a 34-year-old that had a loss, and Inoue just fought a 28-year-old on his prime that had knockout of the year previously without a loss. So that to me matters a lot.
Yeah.
And Usyk is fighting a kickboxer, so I mean, come on, man. Like, I get it.
Said Usyk is doing his farewell tour, on his farewell tour.
Yeah, for sure.
Fact.
And he should.
Fact.
And he
No,
should,
Inoue number one, definitely, you know.
Yeah, for sure, man. And he's the most active out of everyone.
Yeah. By a mile.
You said he had one more
And
fight.
David doesn't even deserve to be on that fucking list, to be honest. As impressive as that Zurdo.
You wouldn't be in the top 10?
It's hard, to be honest, even as impressive as that win was. But I mean, it's just you can't ignore, even though, everybody wants to ignore it, because it was impressive, the Zurdo. I didn't expect it. I don't think anybody expected it.
Yeah, I didn't expect it.
But I mean,
not like that.
But I mean, at the end of the day, pound for pound is meaningless. It's your opinion, my opinion. It's not. There's not a wrong answer. So you want to have a number one, go right ahead. But I mean, it's glaring that he avoids all the top competition at every division that he goes to.
Yeah, the common denominator here is starting to be you. So it's kind of hard for me to say it's Canelo.
It's been him. It's been him.
Yeah, exactly. and
I don't even say him in particular. It's just his management.
Most likely Samson and all those boys. But let me put it to you this way: his last two opponents have had 4 losses. Anthony Yarde had 3, Lyndon Arthur, Beterbiev, and Kovalev, and Zurdo had 0. Now, Inoue, his last 2 opponents had 0 losses.
Yeah, I would put Inoue 1 right now. No question about it.
Now, I would, with all that being said, I'm not gonna lie, Benavidez probably does make the list. I gotta give him that much, but I'll think about it because I mean, Devin Haney deserves to be there before him. Yes. Shakur, yes. And then we go to who? Canelo, probably not, but probably yes. The 2 Russians, yes.
I would put Canelo.
How many is that? Like 5, right? Usyk for sure. Do we put what's the name? Shit. Excuse me. Do we put Bam Rodriguez? Not really, because he's done his thing, but he needs a big win. That's why everybody's aching for that Inoue fight. That's his marquee fight right there, because it's not his fault.
115.
He's now fighting Vargas at, I believe, 118, if I'm not mistaken. Puro, do you know this?
I don't know what
Bam probably doesn't make the list. Goyaso maybe, but that's not.
I don't see him fighting anyway. I don't know, maybe, but
it's supposedly in talks right now.
Really?
Yeah.
And it could happen as soon as the end of this year.
So Bam was going to go to 122 then. Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
I almost got to go now, but
let me say he had one more fight at 122. Maybe it'll be Bam. Yeah. Wow.
I don't want to see Inoue at 26 though. I don't. What
he said that's where he hit it. Arnie.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Everyone's there is bigger than you. Almost everyone there is younger than you too. Why bother? Like
still ain't betting against the monster though.
Like I would much rather you rematch. I would much rather you get 2 wins over Junto Nakatani and then get a win over Bam. That to me would be 10 times head and shoulders greater than becoming undisputed at 126. But I could be wrong about that. I just don't want to see him there because
he made it a big out of me. I got confidence.
He's 5'5" and 126. Nick Ball is not a champion anymore, so I mean Brandon Figueroa.
Nick Ball though, Arnie. We're talking about Nick Ball and the monster.
that would be a layup for him. That's his best. That's an alley oop for him. Of a fight, in my opinion. And but the champions like Figueroa, I can see him get past because Figueroa will smother you, but he has so many technical flaws, man. Don't even get me started on that. Shushu is dangerous because he's young and super talented. He doesn't have the resume yet, but he'll get there. And Espinosa, he's like a foot taller than him. That's bad news right there. Like that's horrible.
Who's the other one? Angelo
Leo, I can see him against Angelo. But you see, like it's not, to me, it's not even worth it because 126. Like if you had like an Arguello there or like a Salvador Sanchez or like a Wilfredo Gomez, then yeah, do it because the name is worth it. But with all due respect to all four of those gentlemen, it's not. There's nobody that even unified yet. So why go there and nah, bro, I wouldn't do it, bro. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. There's not a, again, with all due respect, there's not a big name there.
Yeah,
like Bam and Junto got way bigger names than all four of them combined, probably.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what he said, though. He said
I hate them.
122 and then 126 would be his final division.
Yeah. Well, all the best, man.
Lead up to the Junto fight.
Yeah. No, I do remember he saying that was his ceiling, though. That after 126, he's done. But
yeah,
I've always said like I don't see the point in that. But listen, if he does it, I mean, I'm more gravy to your resume that you already have.
Yeah, that's true. But we'll see. But anything else, we got to get ready to get up out of here.
That's it for me, bro. I appreciate you. God bless. And same for McQueen and Puro and T Hill and everybody else.
It only makes sense for him to move up for the people who say that he needs to move up despite the fact that he's done it several times over.
Right.
That's the thing that's so perplexing to me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Monster needs to move up. If he's really that good. Well, he started at 108. Yeah. He's been moving up. He's moved up several times already.
But even if you didn't move up, even if that was true, let's say that he started at 122 and just cleaned house for 15 years or whatever it is, right? What's the problem with that, bro? Like, what's the problem with having a Marvin Hagler like career or a Triple G like career? You're the you literally own this division for years on top of years. When did that become like some underachieving? Like, I don't understand this requirement that people make up all the time that people gotta move up. That's more detrimental that people think. Like, you can't just move up. You can't just snap your fingers and move up and down like that. It don't work that way, bro. So I don't get it. I mean, I understand it sounds really good to say you're a 3, 4, 5, 6 million division champion. It sounds good, but you gotta be careful with that stuff, man. I'm gonna tell you this. I would much rather you be like the man for 10 years in a division. That to me is harder to do than just move up and do a hit and run here and there.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a big fan of Marvin Hagler. 7 years undisputed.
That's my man. Bro.
Nowadays, you get so many guys, they capture all the belts and then they relinquish them. And they on to the next.
Yeah, Hagler motivated his entire career.
Like 20 plus title defenses. That to me says a lot more, man, because what it says to me is that if you were a fighter in this period of time, you either had to think of something else to do with your life or you had to move up elsewhere because you can't mess with me. That to me is much better than you jumping up and beating this guy and look at me, I'm a 3-4 division that's
all comers in my division and beat everybody. Yeah,
that's very misleading, man. That's super misleading because you get all these champions that never defend their belt, not even once. So, I mean, are we forgetting about you're never a true champion until you actually defend it? Are we forgetting about that? Because that's been a stone cold principle in combat sports since I can remember. You know?
Yeah.
So.
Or they're picking up vacant titles.
Yeah.
Yes.
They get an interim and then they get upgraded. Then they let the title go, then they go elsewhere.
Yeah.
Never actually won it in the ring,
So you end up being a champion without becoming a champion. You see what I mean? Like, but people just can't see that for the life of me. I'm like, listen, I get it. 3-4 division champion. It sounds good and everything, but how many times did he defend it? Did he go up against this guy? That's not the case. So,
did you even win it in the ring in all those divisions?
Yeah,
like Ever said, you might go to some of them and get awarded it as go from the interim to the regular champion or something. You didn't beat nobody for it, you know. So yeah,
like Ivan Calderon has 18 title defenses, gentlemen. At I can't remember if it was strawweight or junior flyweight.
Who was that? At 18?
Ivan Calderon. 18 or maybe 21. I can't remember. It was somewhere around there. So you're telling me that picking up 3 belts in 3 divisions, which might very well be like 3 fights, it's better than having 10 plus title defenses. Since when?
Like Ricardo Lopez, he was champion for like 8 years at strawweight 105, you know.
And not only that, to go back to your point about Hagler, and by the way, that's my favorite fighter of all time, but beyond that, how many people did he stop from becoming great? Like, you stopped a lot of people from becoming. That's what a title defense means. When you get a let's say 13, 14 title defenses, that means that you stopped 14 people, or maybe you had a couple with the same. I don't know. You stopped a bunch of dudes from becoming great. That's what it means, because Mustafa.
Not just that, Arnie. Not just becoming great. Just stopped them from becoming a champion. You know.
Exactly. Mustafa Hamsha would have been the first world champion out of Syria if it wasn't for Marvin Hagler. Right. Think about that, bro. Like, John Mugabe would have been a world champion from Uganda if it wasn't from Marvin Hagler. Like that means a lot, man. Like Juan El Martillo Roldan would have been the champion at middleweight after Monzon for Argentina if it wasn't for Marvin Hagler.
Yeah,
you see what I mean? I don't even have to go to Hearns and Duran.
That point made me think of the beloved Utah Jazz. Irony is, like, if it wasn't for those pesky Bulls, John Stockton and Malone and Greg Ostertag and Brian Russell, all them guys,
Hornacek and Howard Isley, man, the best point guard of all time, and all that. I mean, I love Jerry Sloan. Jerry Sloan, my favorite coach of all time, by the way.
Jerry had a long time.
Exactly. Like there you go again. Like it would have been important in Utah having that championship. It would have been important in Seattle for GP and Camp and all those boys to win. And like there's something to be said about that.
Ewing never got one, remember? He had to go through Chicago, remember? Patrick Ewing and them.
Exactly. Well, they fell short against Houston as well.
They did make it. One of those years Mike left. New York made it through, but they didn't get the title.
They went to the finals twice in the 90s. In 94 against the Rockets, in 99 versus San Antonio. That's when Tim Duncan got his first.
But I don't hold that one against the Knicks as much, because they had Robinson and Duncan, bro. Who's gonna deal with that? I mean, no way.
At that time, the Twin Towers.
Exactly.
But either way, like you said about John Mugabe, and it's such a shame. Like, I watched his fights post Marvin Hagler, and it just was not the same. Particularly that fight that he had against Terry Norris. He got stopped in the first round. I was like, goodness gracious. Like, prior to Marvin Hagler, Mugabe would have been able to withstand those shots, I believe. Not just physically, but psychologically.
Without a shadow of a doubt. And think of it this way, brother. Like if Marvin Hagler doesn't exist, John Mugabe is probably an all-time great, bro. Like,
and it took Hagler 11 rounds to do it. You know, that Mugabe turned north, so he stopped at that Mugabe, first round.
But do you remember what his record was coming into that Hagler fight? Like he was like 25-0, 25 KOs, so crazy, man. Like a Wilfredo Gomez type record.
And lost.
And I know he had a heck of a bed prior to the Hagler fight. Watching this fight that he had with who was that? James Hard Rock Green. Oh my goodness, that was a slugfest. Them guys were going back and forth, hellacious shots. And like you said, Kaz, it took Marvin Hagler 11 rounds. By the time he got to Terry Norris, he was already softened up.
He was done.
Mainly psychologically, because I'm pretty sure that really impacted him.
the same with Roldan. Roldan, after Hagler, he got packed up by Tommy Hearns in a way that you can tell he was never the same. Now, in the Roldan fight, because I was just reading that chapter in the book, the corner of Roldan really did him a disservice, man, because he was injured. He was in bad shape, and they were slapping. Bro, I saw that fight the other day. They gave him a slap in the corner. Like, I'm talking about a slap that it might as well be a right hand sitting on it that you're throwing at him. Like, it was disrespectful stuff. And this is the problem with the corners that I keep going back to. Bro, you can say ten huevos, like have balls, like you gotta do this, bro, you gotta. Oh man, like this gets on my nerves, bro, because they probably wrecked his career. Like,
what book were you reading, Artie? Which book was that?
I'll be right back. I'll show it to you.
Tony Simpson is another guy.
Yeah,
Marvin Hagler stopped from becoming a great, like Tony Simpson.
Tough Tony.
Marvelous Marvin Hagler story, marvelous.
Oh, okay.
See this? And I'm right now on the Hampshire 2.
Mm-hmm.
This is. Let me just give you a quote of the book. This is funny as hell. It says. It says, first Hampshire said that the Duran fight proved, quote, Hagler is a coward and he has no heart.
Wow.
The Roldan fight, Hampshire added, taught him that Hagler, quote, knows how to thumb. retorted Hagler, quote, Hampshire was better off when he didn't speak English.
He was from Syria, right?
Yes, I thought he was from Egypt, but he was from Syria.
Syria, yeah. Yeah.
Mustafa.
Yeah.
And
it was some tough guys back then, man. Some tough fighters.
That boy has a win over Benitez. Like, he wasn't benefited by his time or whatever. No. He has a win over Benitez too. So that was a legit dude. Yeah, Mustafa Hampshire.
Wow, I didn't know that. Wow.
Absolutely. That's why I also mentioned Tony Simpson, Arnie, to your point about guys that were denied greatness at the hands of Marvin Hagler, because he was the European champion.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
He fought Marvin Hagler for the WBC. If he won that fight, we might be talking about Tony Simpson the same way that people talk about Chris Eubank, or Lennox Lewis, those great UK fighters.
For sure.
But now he's just really good fighter, guy that was like 55-7, and he's a footnote.
Yeah. Because
in the Marvin Hagler story.
Yeah. Yeah.
He did pick up a few losses with early that he avenged against Boogaloo Watts. And I can't remember the other one right now. Because against Uncle Firmo, it wasn't a loss, it was a draw.
I think Stanley
Vito.
Haywood, didn't Stanley Haywood beat him? Kitten. Stanley Haywood, like in the early 70s or something. Was he one of them, Arnie? I believe. I know somebody, he lost a couple of fights to Philly fights early.
Look at his box record.
Boogaloo Watts and I can't think of the other one. Bobby something. No, Bobby Boogaloo Watts.
I'll tell you right now. Give me a second. Bobby Boogaloo Watts by majority decision, by the way.
Yeah.
But nevertheless. Oh no, was that the only one? I'm pretty sure he picked up another one, right?
I think he had 3 altogether.
Got Marvelous's birthday coming up too this week.
Yeah, Sugar Ray. This week?
Yeah, Saturday.
Oh, I'm gonna do a tribute, man. Thank you.
It's the 23rd. Like, my handle on Casuals Corner used to be Casuals Corner 523.
Okay.
That's Marvin Hagler's birthday, 523.
Oh, Willie Monroe. Willie Monroe is the other one.
Oh, yeah, Willie the Worm.
Yeah.
And then Sugar Ray was the third one. He had 3 losses, right?
And he avenged 2 of those 3 losses.
Yeah.
He would have avenged the third one, but he never got the chance.
No.
But whatever, man. Like I keep telling people, like, oh, he lost. Listen, bro, would you look at Floyd Mayweather any differently if he would have dropped that first Castillo fight or whatever? No, the answer is no. It has to be no. So. Listen, it's great to say that you're undefeated. It's a good feather in your hat or whatever. But listen, when I'm thinking about Floyd or Rocky Marciano or Calzaghe or Ward or Lopez, retiring undefeated is not even on the top 5 things that I remember about them, to be honest with you.
Most thing I remember about Lopez is how long he was champion in that division, not the undefeated.
Exactly.
He ruled the division for like 8 years straight.
Because again, I can give you controversial fights for every one of them right now without even thinking. Floyd Mayweather
would have lost that fight to what was the guy named?
Rosendo Alvarez.
To him, you wouldn't think of him any less.
Exactly. Like
he had a draw and a split decision against him.
One of them was a draw, the other one was split decision, and I've heard people from Mexico say that he dropped at least one of those 2.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, bro. Like, Ward had that first Kovalev fight. Mayweather had that first Castillo fight. Marciano had the first La Starza fight. Calzaghe had the B-Hop fight. And Lopez had Rosendo Alvarez. It is what it is, bro. Nobody escapes that. It's impossible. It's not possible. It's not. Unless you duck everyone.
Rocky came within 2 rounds of not even winning that title because Jersey Joe had him beat if he could have made through the
Exactly.
Round, but he got knocked out. Or Rocky probably wouldn't even be thought of like he is if he would have lost that fight, you know. But he didn't.
First thing that comes to mind for me, those guys that you named is grit.
Yes, sir.
Oddly enough, you know, most people when they think about Floyd, they think about the pristine record and the defense and all that stuff. But I think about those fights like his entree at 140 when he fought against Chop Chop. He damn near got knocked out in that fight.
Yes.
I know people talk about when he got clipped by Shane Mosley, but he was reeling in that fight versus Chop Chop.
Yeah.
Chop Chop Corley was a menace early because he almost got Cotto too. Remember?
Yes.
I remember that one.
He had Cotto on skates. Like Cotto had a lot of problems early in the round with Chop Chop, with Zab Judah, and with Ricardo Torres. With Ricardo Torres, he almost gave me a heart attack, bro. I saw that thing live. Oh man, I almost died, bro. I was like,
well, you just gave me a fight to watch. I'm about to watch that right now.
Oh, please.
What year was that, Arnie? Torres and Cotto.
Probably early 2000s. Let me see.
2005.
Okay.
There it is.
2005. Okay.
Yep. Oh, my dad's birthday, September 24th.
What?
Awesome.
Oh yeah, I'm about to watch.
Torres is one of those dudes. I can't remember if he was Colombian or Venezuelan, but he's one of those dudes.
Wow.
Bro, I'm telling you, like
they have it up right here. They said it was only his second time fighting out of Colombia. They have whoever it is that uploaded this fight. They gave a pretty nice backstory. Miguel Cotto defends his version of the 140-pound title against undefeated Colombian fighter Ricardo Torres on the undercard of San Peter versus Vlad Klitschko.
Okay.
You're gonna
I remember that card. Yeah.
That's a hell of a fight. I think actually I did one of my first lives that I did, or one of my first 15 or 20 lives that I did was about must-see fights, and I did like 150 of them, and that's one of them.
Cotto I remember
Torres.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do not like San Peter to this day.
Me neither, to be honest.
A nightmare. I felt like James Toney got a raw deal in those fights.
Yeah.
And San Peter, man, he would hit you behind the head too.
Yeah.
That would happen so frequently with him. Hitting behind the head. The Nigerian Nightmare. I remember James Toney say, they call him the Nigerian Nightmare. You look more like the Nigerian Sightmare. He's ugly.
Damn.
Yeah, he ain't gonna be in the cover of GQ.
Like nobody's business.
Wow.
They some trash. Yeah, them Colombians and them Venezuelans, man, they hit hard for no reason.
Trust me, bro. Like, they don't have a million legends, but the ones that they do have, they are dangerous.
Yeah.
And
not even the legends, even the guys that are, journeymen.
Yeah.
Them guys just hit hard, man.
Dangerous. Look at Barroso and all those dudes. So, To this day, bro, I keep telling people this. If Manny Pacquiao would have had to see Edwin Valero, we may not know who Pacquiao is to this day.
Oh yeah, Edwin Valero was flattening people.
Yeah, trust me when I tell you, Valero. I mean, listen, anything can happen in a fight, this and that. I get it, but I don't think people understand how dangerous Edwin Valero was. Like Edwin Valero is one of those dudes, bro. Like he could hit you with either hand. He got quickness. He got the chin. Oh man, he just
never went the distance in a fight.
Never, not even once.
He had a tumultuous life though, Edwin Valero.
To say the least, bro. To say the very least. I mean, talk about a dude that, wasted talent, bro.
One of the biggest what if stories ever, man.
Yeah, but like if he had like Monzon was a scumbag of the highest order. Valero is a step above him. And this gives me no joy to say, but it is the truth. Like we're talking about, beating on women, like Monzon threw one of his wives out of a third story place, and Valero did this. Valero, I think, had a couple of bodies because he was tied with Chavez in Venezuela. They didn't put him to jail, but eventually they had to, bro. You can only hide things for so long, So if they, it's sad, but it's also like, I mean, what are you gonna do?
They said they had a motorcycle accident or something early.
Who? Valero.
Said it affected his brain or something. Valero, something like that.
That might be true because I saw a documentary of him, but it was like 8 months ago. So I'm remembering a couple of things. But yeah,
without a helmet on or something earlier in the two. I think he was like an amateur or something. He might not have turned pro yet, or early in his pro career or something. I read that vaguely somewhere.
Head trauma will change you.
Yeah.
So you guys have violent brain injuries.
Yep.
You ain't never gonna see me aboard one of those things. I mean, I love it. I get it. The Harleys and everything, it looks nice as hell, whatever. But
and he wasn't wearing a helmet.
Yeah, bro. But even with the helmet, bro, that's not even like you go to a certain speed, it's over with, bro. It's over.
Yeah.
You still got to have a lot of other protective gear on too, because sometimes it's not even just cracking your head; it's road rash. Mess around and a whole layer of your skin is just peeled off.
Yeah.
Not only that, I worked at a pizzeria here for some months, and damn near everyone there except for me was a biker, and they kept complaining about knee pains. And one of them explained to me that one of the biggest problems with riding motorcycles is that the constant vibration that you feel on your limbs, especially on your lower limbs, is something that is going to give you arthritis way earlier, like serious stuff. So it's not only like if you crash into something, you probably for certain will die.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like the actual nature of riding that thing is like bad for you, anatomically speaking.
Yeah. Especially if you do it every day, like you're a regular every day, riding. Yeah, I can see that. I've never been on a motorcycle. Passenger, riding, nothing.
I don't have the.
We was going up, and he was always trying to get me to ride. I'm like, hell no, man.
No, bro.
I'll walk. I ride my bike. My bicycle.
Call me whatever you want, but I just don't have the blood for that stuff, bro. I just don't.
I'll say, I'll meet you there. I'm riding my bike.
Smart man.
No.
But I do have to go now, fellas. It's always a pleasure. Needless to say, I'll be live later tonight. So if you want to pull up,
I would try to get up with you. 9 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we're almost there now.
A couple of hours, yeah.
Okay, well, I appreciate you, Ernie.
God bless you too. Sir.
Okay. Ernie Boxing, Ed McQueen, Perot, and Thomas Hill was the panel. And I'll be back Wednesday. Monday, if it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 p.m. It's the Box Story, bringing you all that boxing history. Everybody have a great afternoon.
Bye.